Hello and welcome back to another Foxy No Tail live stream here live on Twitch playing on Truly Bedrock Season 4. First of all, do we have many echo like we did last stream? I'm hoping not, and if we don't, that's good news. We can move on. But we're not before sampling some tasty it's not tea today, it's coffee. Jeez. Why don't you sleep properly at Foxy No Tail? You haven't slept in weeks. I don't know. I keep drinking coffee all day and all night, and I don't know. I don't understand why I've been sleeping. Doesn't make any sense. Right. We're going to get straight into it, peeps. We're getting on with this. It may involve cat murder. If that cat... Why am I getting cats at my base? I have 4 villagers and 5 beds. Why am I getting cats, chickens? Speaking of the laggiest chickens in the world, they've all vanished. There were about 450 million chickens stuck in that hole down there. They've all despawned. Well, that's good news. Great. Can't have anything on this game. You got entity, mate? No, it's mine now. Okay, fair dues. I didn't want it anyway. Good. I'm glad all my entities have despawned. This is good news. First time chat from Ruth Edmund saying, hello, how are you? I'm all right. How are you doing, Ruth? Nice to see you. Don't know you, but it's nice to see you anyway. True Pat says it does that now. I had 2 villages and 3 cats spawned. Good. I'm glad to see things are working perfectly. I haven't logged in since Tuesday's live stream, believe it or not. Well, I've been a very busy no-tail. On Tuesday we were end raiding, and today I am going to repair my elytra. We're going to go through our chests and we're going to carry on landscaping our area, which at the moment just means extending it all, but at some point that's going to mean, you know, building on it and making paths and all that sort of stuff. And do you know what? We should take all of these things and turn them into nice tasty blocks and put them in our nice tasty blocks boxes. Speaking of blocks boxes, we have many shulker boxes now that we went to a semi-successful end raid. But only semi-successful because looting 3 is totally broken, and therefore we didn't get many shulker shells. Well, not as many as I'd have liked, at least, anyway. So yeah, happy no-tail. Happy that everything's working perfectly as usual. 4,000 chickens have gone missing, and I didn't get many loots from end raiding, but it's all good. Everything's fine. I'm not complaining. Are you complaining? Because I'm not complaining. You're half an hour early today, Foxy. Shh. No, it's fine. Oh, it's a party. Thanks, party. Ruth Edmund says, I'm good, thanks. I'm Lofty's daughter. Oh, you. Oh, Ruth. You're Lofty's daughter. Oh, Ruth. We've heard you before. A few times, actually, while we've been live streaming. In the background. With words that must not be repeated on the internet. Thank you for coming to one of my streams. Welcome. I hope you're all right. Right, we need to sort out all of this stuff, don't we? Why am I putting things away when I'm clearly not finished with them? Why am I putting things away when I'm clearly not finished with them? I'm so sorry, says Ruth. It's okay. I've forgiven you. This time. But next time, Ruth, by crikey, there will be probably absolutely 0 consequences at all. So, don't worry about it.
Just subscribe.
XXJCBXX just subscribed. Stream lady, I'm trying to talk. Shush. And she says, I was headed to the end yesterday and heard some of your chickens suffocating. What? You killed my chickens, JCB? This is bad news. What did you do that for? You heard it here first, everybody. JCB killed my chickens. She heard them enjoying themselves, clucking away as they do in their little pen, and she came by and murdered them. You heard it here first. Can't believe it. She was hungry, says non-existing. She was hungry for 47,000 chickens that were all sharing the same spot? That's a new level of hunger that I wasn't aware of. Jeez. What? No, Jesse did, says JCB. No. Oh, sorry a minute. Hang on. I got really confused then. Yes. We got JCB subscribed saying 22 months. That's an elephant baby. It is indeed. And then we got Jesse B. Literally like the same line it shows on my screen. Then like telling me that it was actually Jesse that ate all of my chickens. Oh my goodness me. JC, I apologize. Jesse, you're fired. Can't believe you eating my chickens, Jesse. Jesse. Well, one of you. Stop eating chickens. Oh my goodness me. It's just not on. It's not on at all. Why would you do it? Why would you do it? Right, so we actually do have quite a lot of shulker boxes altogether, which is good news. And I have many, many, many elytra. Probably so many that we could, like, sell some. But I'm really selfish and incredibly greedy. So it's unlikely that that's going to happen. Because why would I give them to someone else when I could have them? Although Mr. Onion does need a shop to you know, start selling wares at. I was hoping he was going to be selling mob farm shop stuff. But I'm not sure that's going to happen. We need to also enchant all of these. We have the tools to do that now. We can do that. Whether we will or not, well, that's a question. But we can. How'd Jesse get blamed, says Jesse. Jesse says, I don't know, might have been worse. I just left raw meat and walked away. Oh, yeah. Oh, that raw meat that's magically despawned now, Jesse. Oh, yes. You mean that raw meat that you carried off in your pockets? Took it with you. I've got so many elytra. I am elytra. I've nearly got a shulker box full of elytra. I'm so rich. It's amazing. Oh dear, Quantum Reveries. Oh dear, worst dad joke ever. Why'd they do it? They skipped lunch and were feeling peckish. Hi, the Knight says, oh no, are we sure Big Chicken didn't go cannibal? Absolutely not. There's no way he would. No, he has nothing but love. Have I got hair in my eye? Nothing but love for those little pesky chickens. Little pain in the rear ends, as I like to call them. Right, we need a box to keep our heads in. It's a weird thing to say, but it's true. And one for music discs as well. So, we need to start crafting shulker boxes for spare stuff, because I've got so much junk just everywhere. We need to get sorted out. I hate it. So, do you know what? Instead of doing landscaping... Oh, no, I need to do landscaping. No, we are going to do landscaping, but I was going to say we're going to do making a storage area, but we're not. We're doing landscaping because I need to do storage area on camera. Otherwise, it's going to be very confusing and everyone will be like, why don't you do anything in video anymore? You just do it all on live streams. Blah, 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 whinge, whinge, whinge. And then I'll just get fed up with people whinging at me. And then I'll I don't know. I'll probably do nothing, to be honest with you, but I'll be fed up. Right. We're just going to go through these armor boxes, sort all that out. Jeez, all them potions. What am I supposed to do with all that? What am I supposed to do with all this junk? Why did I collect it? I don't know. Do you know? Because I don't know. And if you know, but I don't know, then maybe you can tell me and then I'll know because you know. But if you don't know, then you can't tell me that you know because you don't know and then I won't know. But if you do know and I don't know, then if you tell me I will know and then I'll know, then I can tell you that you know. Oh. Yeah, just, I don't know. Lightslab says, hey Foxy, how are you today? I'm good, thank you, Lightslab. How are you doing? Are you having a good time? Is the world treating you well? The Knight says, I mean, he could love them and love to eat them too. I have the Knight's wife or husband or whichever way you go with all of those sorts of things. Run now. He loves you, but he's gonna eat you. Or she loves you. I don't know. I'm making presumptions that I shouldn't presume about. Again, I have a habit of doing that. Sorry, apologies. JCB says, it's because it's from the end, which makes it special at the time. You get back and throw it in a chest, never to be seen again. I know. It does seem special at the time when you get, oh, look, free shiny stuff. And then you'd get it home, you're like, why did I pick up all of this junk? It is 100% just total junk. That's not total junk. That's very important. That's not total junk. That's very important. Oh, I've got two really important shulker boxes that I'd like to live in my ender chest, but there's obviously clearly no space for anything in my ender chest. I have a very empty dice box, a very empty deep slate variants box. I've got very empty lots of boxes in here really, but I don't feel I could replace any of these what could potentially have items in boxes. I am wonderful, my good man. Been coding like a madman in my IRL job, just but love it. That's good, Lightslab. Thanks for asking. The Knight, just take it to the grindstone, unenchant it, and smelt things down into nuggets. You can't smelt diamond down into nuggets. I have tried. It clogged up my furnace. Slack got cross at me, and, you know, let's not take that any further. Right. I need chests. I need chests. I've got 2. We have any more? Can we... Crafting dog, please craft me some chest. Oh, not crafting crafting tables, crafting dog, you moron. I wanted chests. Jeez. Get a grip. I know you're crafting dog, but you've got a crafting table, and I don't need more of them. Stupid crafting dog. He's not really a crafting... He is. He's a crafting dog. Shut up. Leave me alone. Thought we were speaking of... I thought we were speaking of iron rubbish. What? What word did Mod not like, says Lofty? Junk. Not allowed to say junk. It's American for private parts. Thou must not say junk. Unless you're talking about a willy. You can't say that. It's family friendly. It's a family friendly word. It's someone's name. It's short for William. You can also say Bill. And that's what junk means. It means William. Jeez, you guys get all sorts of upset with me for no reason. I come here, say absolutely nothing of any consequence at all, and you guys lose your minds, and I don't understand it. JCB with the face palms. Lofty says, okay, I like the end rating rubbish. I missed the fact that we were talking about iron, not diamond. I wasn't looking at the screen at the time. I don't worry about it other night. It's fine. Right, we have many. Where do we keep saddles, peeps? On your horses. Yeah, but when they're not on horses, where do we keep them? Let's have this as saddles box for now. That'll do. That's a good place for saddles. Let's put that there. That can be saddles box, and then we'll have an empty box to be mob heads box. This is a good idea. Oh, we're getting all kinds of labelled here, peeps. This is good news. Wither Rose probably needs to go in my mob drop box, really. Banners, I don't know why I'm keeping banners. I suppose Mr. Onion likes stickers, so he can come pinch them at some point. Do we keep them in the lava, says Either Night. No, they're useful. Don't throw them away. You never know when you might need a saddle. Someone might want to make a pig racetrack or have a horse for no reason. You can't just go throwing things like that away. It's not acceptable in this day and age. Have a word with yourself. Jeez, throwing things away. Next thing you know, the oceans will be littered with saddles, and I'll have to be making, like, save the saddles videos on my second channel, all about going to the beach and clearing up saddles. And I don't want to go and clear up saddles. Saddles are heavy. All right? So just let's not go there, okay? But you have elytra, says Either Night. I do, but not everybody's as rich as me. I'm very rich. Very rich indeed. Because I'm keep getting rich. Give Mr. Onion the stickers, says Lofty. I'll save them up for him. Don't you worry. You can have plenty of stickers at some point. One day. Right, where do I keep end rods? In the end box. That's a good idea. I'll keep them in there. And then we'll put that in there, and those in there as well. That's good. Oh no, we've got ladders in that one. Oh no, we've got too many ladders to make a stack though. Ah, jeez, we need a junk box. We need a junk box. That can be the junk box. Right. With a rose, you can go in there. This is good news. Right, now all we've got to do is sort out all of this armour and equipment. How hard could it be? We've got a spare sugar box there. Let's pop that there. So they're already kind of sorted. But we've got so much of it now, we probably ought to have one for each different type of armour. Like one chest just for helmets, one chest just for chest plates, one just for leggings, you know? That would make sense, wouldn't it? So let's do it. Burn it! Put it all in the lava! No! I need them. You never know. It's like you must all have drawers of wires at home. And you can't throw them away. The wires for stuff, like... you're never going to use ever again, but you might one day need them, so you can't throw them away. I've got literally 4 large storage boxes of assorted wires in one of my cupboards, and I went through them all the other day, and I was like, I'm throwing away all these wires. I'm doing it. I'm finally going to throw away all these wires. I didn't throw any away. In fact, I added to it with more wires that I found, but now all of my wires are in categories, which is really good. They're no longer just bundles of mess. They're all categorized in the right. I do storage at home as well. I didn't even realize. I organised my chests at home. No. I have an ender chest at home, though. That would be nice. I'd like to have an ender chest at home. They work on the avatars, right? Says Light Slab. They do indeed, yeah. So that is a realistically real reason for keeping them. But it's still a bit of a waste, isn't it? Let's be honest. Don't actually need this much stuff for the avatars. Unless I'm planning on, like, dying constantly, I guess. Look at all this horse armor. I've never, ever used horse armor. Hands up in the chat if you've ever used more than one piece of horse armor per world. Bob Breen says, who knows when you're going to need an RJ232 to RJ45 cable? I know. Exactly. I got serial cables to connect to pieces of machinery that haven't been sold since the 1960s. But you never know. You never know. The thing is, I have thrown stuff like wires away before. And then someone's asked me if I got this wire. And I'm like, oh my, I literally threw that away last week. So I won't do it now. I won't do it. Khaleesi is the only person who's ever used more than one piece of horse armor. There you go. I don't know how you should feel about that, Khaleesi. But clearly, you've got a problem. Clearly, you stand out as an individual. Right, we can make a shoebox now. This is good news. Look at all the shoes we've got. Oh, I've got a new helmet there. More helmets for there. Shoebox. This one can be shoes. Oh, look at all of this amazing stuff. So we ought to put this in some sort of order now, so that we're not getting all confused as to what's what. So we'll have helmets at the top. That makes sense. And chest plates. Where's the chest plates gone? Really, game? You're going to hide them in my inventory, aren't you? One of these slots has got chest plates in it. Or not, apparently. No. Oh, there. Moron. Absolute moron. I'm very smart. Joy B34 has put the hand up. Khaleesi says, finally another hand up, lol. They're not hands not up for what we said. They've just joined. Their hands up. They probably need the toilet or they'd like to ask a question, Khaleesi. I'm sorry. You are on your own. Right, okay. Chat, what have you been saying? I like leather horse armor because you can dye it, says JCB. Yes, and put it on all of the horses you don't have. The Knight saying, I use RJ232 all of the time, but typically I have little transceiver boxes to convert them between. As for horse armor, I don't think I've used any before, says the Knight. JCB says it might buy some off you though, Foxy. Enjoying horse travel. Well, there's plenty here. Help yourself. Swap it for something nice and shiny. Quantum Reverie says, I have an entire box full of wall wart power adapters. Not one of them has ever matched a new electronic item that needs one. Yeah. Yeah. Horse travel is fun in the update. A brilliant horse. I have a brilliant horse, says Jesse B. Well, you and JC need to come and argue over who's going to get what out of all these boxes then. I had my little mine horses that I was, I wanted people to ride through the mountain on a horse and like drop one off at one end and go back on it on the other end, and it just, then I went end raiding and thought, what's the point? What's the point? Seriously, bro, what's the point? That's what I said. Because I'm cool and down with the kids. That's me. Right then. This one's going to be shiny pickaxes. Oh, look at that one. That's not far off being an ultimate pickaxe. Got lots and lots of nice shiny pickaxes. More shiny pickaxes than you can shake a stick at. And look at all these shovels. Look at all these shovels. It's a crazy amount of shovels. It's too many. We're going to need another sugar box just for shovels. Jeez. Okay. I mean, to be honest with you, I might throw these shovels in the furnace. I mean, some of them are pretty good, to be fair, but I'm never going to use... No, they're going in the furnace. I'm not wasting shulker box space on iron shovels. I'm not doing it. I refuse. Or iron pickaxes. They can all get lost. They're going in pit, in burning machine. With stuff. Well, there we go. Right, excellent. We have successfully, apart from a couple of things in our junk chest, completely organised our end raiding chests. A mule is where his hat, says Lights Lab. Why is everybody like mules? JCB says, I have 2 horses. Jesse B says, horse travel is for... I've read that one. There you go. JC's with me, says Khaleesi. No, she's just being nice. She's being polite. No one's with you. You're on your own. I sold several horse armor to SG1 on Super X as Isu Gaming. Oh, jeez. I'm surrounded by loonies. Hang on a minute. When we started the stream, granted that was 20 minutes ago. Oh. Hello, JC. I emptied this out apart from roast potatoes, jacket potatoes. But I had Chuck in here the other day. He was parked just here. He was in spectator mode, but he's closest to that furnace to go on. And in 3 hours, 2.5 stacks of items smelted. So, that's weird. I have copper. Can I have horse armor? Yeah, I've got copper as well. You got anything else that's shiny? Follow me, JC. Pack chests and controllability, says Light Lab. Yeah, you don't need horses with chests on. That's a bad idea. It's just an accident waiting to happen. If entities are despawning, the last thing you want to do is fill their pockets with diamonds. Down here, JC. Make your way down into the secret room of many, many exciting things. She got lost. This way.
DBuck108 just subscribed.
Help yourself. They're in the middle box there. You can also take saddles and all the other junk that you want. Feel free to top yourself up with potions of healing. D-Buck, sorry. 108 has subscribed with Amazon Prime. Thank you very much for your subscription. That is very much appreciated. Iron, said JC. Oh, I'd much rather have iron. Yes, please. Yes. It's 3 stacks per piece of horse armor. I hope you don't mind. And that's blocks, not ingots. Don't rip me off. No, any contribution would be appreciated. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you. All right. Maybe I'm not as rich as JCB. JCB rich. Wow. Quick, squirrel it away before she asks for it back. Everybody knows once it's gone in your ender chest, there's no backses. It's the rules on sharing. Nice. Ah, this is good news. You're welcome. Help yourself. Right. Okay. Now that we have successfully made JCB the happiest person in the world by ripping her off for a load of rubbish horse armor, we can go. Oh, we need to put at least some of this stuff. I need to repair these. What do you think? Should we go on a mad, let's get loads of mending books and unbreaking books and fix these Elytra up mission, or should we go do some landscaping? You let me know what you think we should do. Khaleesi says, feel better after flipping the table over now. The whole table for time for one. Wow. Water. It's lovely. Hey, Jay and Slow, says Khaleesi. It's Slaminski saying, hello, Foxy. Hello, Slaminski. No one replying to my what, should we do? So I guess... Oh, landscaping. Everyone says landscaping. What, just placing dirt? Which means we got to go on an adventure. Yay, it's adventure time. That's why I wanted some of these. I want to put at least one of these in my ender chest. So in case we have accident. Because we're going to go on a journey now, peeps. In order to do landscaping, I need more dirt and grass. You're a moron. Come on, out you go. Because I want to fill off... That's what I want to do. And I want to do it there. And I want to do it there. But I've run out of green dirt. So we're going to have to go and find some now. Which means flying a long, 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 long way. T-Cat Carver very late in there. We're saying... landscaping. Isu Gaming says, journey to steal blocks from DB? Steal blocks from DB? No. I would never. Absolutely not. I would never steal from DB or Mr. Beardstone. I don't know what you're talking about. Connor Reverie says, landscape is better than re-rolling villagers for enchantments. I don't need to re-roll them. They're already fixed. All I need to do is trade with them. But that's fine. We'll go and place dirt. We'll go dig dirt and then we'll go place dirt. That's fine. More dirt. Good thing you have so many iron shovels to use, says Jaded Ananas. Yes. Yes, isn't it a good job I have got so many iron shovels to burn through getting lots of dirt. T-Cat Carver there saying, sorry, I was making a sandwich. Fair dues. I'll let you off then. I will let you off then. Right. While we're flying a long way away, don't look at the mob farm. Spoilers. Don't look at it. While we're flying a long way away, I would like to discuss with you all a problem. I've got a problem. It's not emergency yet, but if I leave it much longer, it could well be an emergency. It could be damaging to my health, the dog's health, and pretty much anyone that walks in my house's health if I don't deal with it sooner or later. And this is a problem I've come across before several times, and I don't know how to deal with it. And I'm sure more of you must have come up with this problem before, and I'm sure at least one of you got some good advice on how to approach this problem and deal with it properly. Okay? Too late, I look, says Millsy. So Blue says, Khaleesi, sorry, says, uh-oh. Yeah, uh-oh. That's exactly what I thought when I realised this morning.
Jesse_B just
What a
subscribed.
moron. What a moron. Slaminsky has just gifted a sub to Jesse B. Thank you very much, Slaminsky9, who has gifted 361 subs to the channel. That is ridiculous. Thank you so much. So no procrastinating, bruh. Lol, says Lights Lob. Yeah. Okay, so the problem I have. Oh, jeez. You're not going to believe it. Yesterday, I put on in the morning. Oh, hang on. T-Cat Carver's asked a question. Conversion question, lol. What's your favourite sandwich fixings? What? I like to use nails to fix my sandwich to the wall. I'm trying to tell a story here. Jeez. Yesterday morning I got up and I put on a stew in the slow cooker, which comprised of beef and vegetables, and it was quite nice. I ate it for tea. It was a bit tough still, but I'm not very good at doing slow cookers. But as happened last time I used the slow cooker, I made enough for 2 meals and managed to leave the second one in the slow cooker and forgot about it.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Slaminsky, subscribe with Prime for 8 months. Thank you very much. Can't believe it's been 8 months being subscribed by Amazon Prime.
Being subscribed by Amazon Prime.
So, I woke up this morning to find an entire portion's worth of stew that I've left in the slow cooker overnight. And I've done this before, and getting rid of it is such a... How do you deal with it? What do you do when you've got food that's just slop? And you can't shove it down the hole in the sink. And if you put it in the bin, it just drips and it sticks. What do you do with it? Flush it, says Bob Reed. You can't flush that. It's got blooming great taters in it. You can't flush taters. They'll come back up. They'll float. I'll have taters in me toilet for days. Kitchen rolls, as JCB. What am I supposed to do with kitchen roll? Kitchen roll what? There's like a portions worth of wet stew. The kitchen roll going to help. First time chat from viewer. All your friend says freeze it, then toss it in the bag. Freeze? Yeah, but then it's going to unfreeze, right? Fish it, says Buckley Martian. Bury it in the garden, says Ranger said. If I do that, Nelly will eat it. Flush it, says Buckley Martian. Stick in a carrier that doesn't have holes and put it in the bin. You don't get carrier bags that don't have holes. That's what I did last time, and I had a trail of stew on the floor behind me all the way to the bin. It was gross. There's no such thing as carrier bags without holes in. This is a major... Oh, look at that. Mushroom Island that doesn't exist. It's a major problem, peeps. You should get a Mrs. Notel. That will fix a lot of problems, says Squid. I like to be self-sufficient, okay? Outside bin, says Blue Sagacity. What, just pour it straight in the green bin? Pour it straight in the wheelie bin? Oh, that's going to stink though, isn't it? Get a piggy, says T-Cat Carver. Burn down the kitchen. That's to be honest, that's where I'm thinking is where we need to go. Dump it in the field out back. Hope it doesn't attract vermin. Quantum Reveries. Bag it and bring it directly out to the trash cans, says Time Lady with a Wand. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. What about a pedal bin bag? It's such a waste of a bin bag just for a little bit of stew, isn't it? Like, there's got to be a solution that isn't just throwing more plastic into the dump. What about a pedal bin bag, says Khaleesi? I don't... Well, you mean like a small one? I don't have a small one. I only have large bin bags. Give it to the dog, says okay, Kenny. I would if she wasn't so temperamental with her stomach. But she can't. Feed it to the gulls, says Fuzzy Bear. Again, the dog would get it first. Dog would see it, scare the gulls off, and then I'd have a poorly dog. Give it to the dog, says Lofty. Can't. A zippy bag, says T-Cat Carver. There's got to be a simple solution. You're a fussy no-tail. No helping you, says Khaleesi. I know, I'm just pointing out that it is, like, this is one of those things that's a relatively common thing to do, and there's no easy solution for it, is there? Nobody has thought of a solution to throw away vast quantities of food that you've forgotten to put in the fridge the night before, and I don't understand why. There are times I leave things in the fridge and have a few things until I have a few things or it's trash day. And I could plate it up still and like put it in the fridge and then like wait until it's bin day. Oh man, that'd be gross though. Imagine if like someone comes around and like, oh, that's nice. He's got no creeper, no. He's got some. I've got no game sound. Oh, I know why. One moment, please. Let's just put it back on there. Should help. There we go. Now I've got game sound. Yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, what I'm going to have to do is get like 2 or 3 carrier bags, the ones that have holes in, because carrier bags is stupid. Wrap them all together to try and stop the stuff seeping out the holes. Put them in carrier bags. Put it in the wheelie bin, and wait till Tuesday. It's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. Well, I decided to do it in the slow cooker this time, rather than I got a slow cooker. I've also got a Cooker King, which is basically a digital pressure cooker, which I normally do stews in because it does them in half an hour instead of a whole day. They taste better, they're cooked better, and it's just all round better. But I didn't use that this time because last time I did a stew, I did it in there, and the difference between that thing and my slow cooker is that has no window in it. It's completely and utterly covered and sealed. And I didn't just leave half a portion in it when I did it. I put it on early in the day and completely forgot about it. Completely forgot about it, and it was several days later, and I could smell something horrible coming from the kitchen. I'm thinking, what is that smell? I was looking all around. I thought maybe something had fallen out the bin, gone down the back of the fridge, something on the radiator, had something come in and died. It was gross, and I couldn't find it. And then the next day, I woke up and I thought, oh, maybe it's just me being weird. But I woke up the next day, it was still there, but it was even stronger this time. And I went to it, and I'm like, oh man, and it was gross. So I won't use that anymore. I'm sure it's not edible though. If it's only yesterday, said JCB. It probably would be, but with it having meat in it, I don't like to leave meat out overnight and then eat it the next day or warm it up again. I'm a bit weird like that. I'll say weird. I suppose most people tell you not to. So if it was just vegetables, I wouldn't mind. And I know it's been cooked, but I'd rather not. Sell it on eBay, says Ranger's Edge. Second-hand out-of-date stew. Put it in an Amazon box, put it on your porch and hope someone steals it, says Lawful Meat here. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Everyone steals stuff off my porch. It's a good idea. See, now we're getting good ideas. You guys with your stupid ideas earlier on, like, oh, put it in the bag and put it in the bin. No, we want the good ideas, like selling it on eBay and hiding it in an Amazon box. Write something like fragile or really expensive on the front of it. Make it look like really good. If it's small enough chunks, you could flush it, says Squid. It's not. It's got big old carrots in it, big old taters in it. It would take a lot of work to mince it up enough to flush. Posted to tears, says Bob Reen. Nice. Okay, pedal bin bag, which is too much plastic, but 3 carry bags isn't. Well, okay, Khaleesi, I don't have any pedal bin liners because I don't have any pedal bins. So I would have to go out and buy pedal bin liners, thus it being a waste of plastic because I've got no reason to use them unless I forget my stew again next time, which is highly likely because I am a forgetful fox and I have a lot of things going on and I forget that I've done things, clearly. So maybe a bag of pedal bin liners would be a good purchase for me for all of the stews I cook myself but forget to eat. Genuine Foxy Hotel pre-used and pre-owned stew. I'm sure that'll sell. Probably. I'm sure there's some people crazy enough out there to buy it. What meat was it, says JGB? It was beef, which are technically beef. You can leave for ages. I know you can. I know it'll be fine, but it's been in there overnight. It's the next day. I don't want it. I don't want it. Only option is going back in time and tubbing it then, says Khaleesi. Yeah, that's another good idea. We could do that. Go back in time and just not forget to leave it overnight. Yeah, it'll be fine, says JGB. I don't want it now. Use a strainer. Oh, use a strainer. It doesn't look, no. No. I'm glad we have such good conversations in this on this channel. Such, useful, on topic, handy conversations where we learn things together, all about Minecraft and stuff that's, related to Minecraft. Yeah, it'll be fine, says JCB. I know. I've already read that one. So, peeps, how many of you, hands up, genuine hands up only, please. Don't want any fake ones because I need to know. How many of you watched or listened to last week's podcast that me and Slack did, the Minecraft Update podcast? Khaleesi says, for what it's worth, I'm forgetful too, so I get it, but yeah, no helping you. You're too similar to me. You'll go around in circles and then just deal with it somehow, sometime. Yeah. If you want real stupid idea, you strain it in the sink, rinse the larger bits, then chuck it in the bin. That's what I'd do. I've done that before, and that's just a big gross mess. I have done that before, where I've poured it all in the sink, let whatever's gone down the sink, and then fished out the chunks with my hands, with my fingers, and chucked the chunks in the... Oh, it's gross. Yeah, I don't want to do that. JSB says, yeah, pour the slops down the sink, stop the chunks falling out with your hands. That's what I do with my lad Sarah. Oh, no, you do that. Oh... You do that with someone else. Oh no, when Oliver's finished his cereal, if there's milk and Weetabix still in it, there's no, I mean, just going near it is enough to make me poke. Like, oh, that's someone else's, backwashed, rotten, warm cereal. I know, put it in my hands in it. No way. I'd rather pick up dog poo than deal with that. Oh, jeez. Jesse B says, I did. Ancient Mariner did. Lawful Meteor did. Lofty did. You did a podcast with Slack. I have to hear this, says Agent Tattoo. Yes. And our episode number 2 will be out tomorrow. You'll be glad to know. If you want to be an early adopter of it, you can go direct to Spreaker, which is the podcast service we actually upload it to. It'll be available there from 7 a.m. The reason I post it at 7 a.m. is because it takes normally a couple of hours to basically get sent out to all of the major podcast places like Apple Music, Spotify and all that. But yeah, from about 9 a.m. I think the YouTube video version of it will be out, and it should also have propagated to the main streaming platform. So yeah, if you're interested, if you enjoyed the last one, check it out. This one certainly felt a lot more natural recording it. Felt a lot more normal as we were recording it, and I think it flowed a lot better as well. So really happy with the one we recorded this week. And there's some funny bits in it as well. So, yeah, hope you enjoy listening to that. Garbage disposals aren't a common thing in the UK, says Khaleesi. We don't have garbage disposals at all, do we? I didn't even think that was a thing. I bet health and safety wouldn't allow it, would they? A whizzy thing down your plug hole? I don't think so. They probably are available in more modern kitchens, but I've never, ever seen one in the UK. And I've been to a lot of houses, like nearly 5 different houses in my life. And I have never seen one. One of the houses I went to was really rich. It had windows and everything, mate. And they didn't have one either. There's a thing called a sync strainer in... I had an encoder error, apparently. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Sorry about that. My OBS, first time it's ever done that, completely locked up. I couldn't close it or anything. I had to do the old task manager and end task thing. It just came up with encoder error. And that was it, just locked up. Thanks, mate. Hey, look, it's a Foxy, says Jesse B. Squid says, the stew must have become self-aware and attacked. That's what it is. It's exactly what it is. The stew's like, no, mate. No, this is going south. I'm going to get chucked out tomorrow. I'm going in 3 layers of bin bag. I'm not happy about this. Better attack it. That'll show him. That'll teach him to make stews and leave me. Forget about me. Yeah, we can hear you, says JCB. That's good news. Excellent. Lizardfang says, what happened? I had an encoder error. My OBS just decided for a moment that it wasn't going to work and then crashed. And I had to restart it. First time it's ever done that. Big Chicken, stop feeding the self-aware stew. It's not a pet. Says I the night. Wouldn't surprise me if it was that chicken's fault. Useless chicken. Right then. We are getting a lot of dirt. This is good news. Not often I go out hunting for dirt outside of the world border. It's not normally something I do. While we're doing this resource gathering mission, I know I really want to get this base area extended and finished off, but we got a few shulker boxes on it, and we're not far from a desert. We might as well. Having said that, my shovel's a little... It's not looking ever so well. I was going to say we might as well fill up a couple of shulker boxes worth of sand. Although I believe I got another shovel in my ender chest, so we should be okay. So we'll do that before we head back and start placing loads of sand. Because I do need more sand. Grass. I do need more sand. I'm always short on sand. And glass. I'd like to give my my furnace something to eat as well. Can imagine a blog from Foxy, day 12, still haven't decided how to get rid of this stew. I've had to move into my neighbour's house because the smell's so bad. I'm not sure how I'm going to cope with it. The mould is now growing out of the top and down the sides and has completely surrounded the dog. Mr. Onion's dye experiments on the stew. What? Prediction time. When will the stew become self-aware, says Bob Ring. We don't need a prediction on stew. Oh, speaking of prediction, in the last live stream, we did a prediction on whether or not I would die in the end, and I forgot to do the results, but I did do it as I finished the stream, so you should have all had your points awarded to you, or reduced from you, depending on which way you voted. So, yeah, I didn't forget completely. I just had already sent the raid off to Bruno by the time I remembered. Not for me, it said, how attached are you to that crock pot? Duct tape the lid and bin it. That's the thing, it's me nanas. It was, I lost both my nanas this summer, actually. Both my grandmas died within a month of each other this summer, and it was one of theirs, so I am quite attached to it. I don't want to have to throw away something I've only had a month because I've not used it properly. Sorry, Nana. It was an accident. I didn't mean to. JCB made me do it. She killed all my chickens. Well, you said that was Jessie B. Yeah, well, I'm blaming JC again, alright, Steve? First world problems, clicked by JC. We got a first time chat from viewer Crash Band 55 saying hi, hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for taking the time to have a first time chat with us. I appreciate it. How are you doing? What's going on? Have you watched before? Are you new? Are you a new follower? What's going on? If you have followed recently, thank you very much for the follow. Technically, we all die in the end, says Bob Ream. All right, let's not... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, let's not go there. It's a bit, that's way too deep and moody for this. I'm a new follower and new to you, says Crashbound55. Amazing. Well, welcome. Thank you very much for following. Thank you very much for enjoying my content enough to think, you know what, I'm going to follow that person all the way home and then tell him how rubbish his content is. Read that one. Come on, peeps. Come on. Chat can do better than this. I've streamed on YouTube. I know how fast chat can go, and you guys, you're going slow. I need things to read. I've run out of things to tell you. Well, maybe I haven't. What else could I tell you? What could I tell you? What news and interesting information, what anecdotes have happened this week that I can tell you all about? Today. Are you interested? When I waffle on about things I did during the day, is that interesting, or would you rather me just talk about Minecraft? I don't know. I always just seem to end up sort of going on a rant about like personal stuff rather than actually talking about the game. I could talk about the game if you want. We can come up with some interesting news topics to discuss if you want to do with Minecraft. For instance, did you know that there are now, according to Microsoft, over 140 million people per month that log into Minecraft and play every day? And which is 30% higher than this time last year. Did you know that? It's interesting. I like the waffle, says Jesse B. Foxy, you missed a spot, says Captain Caveman. I probably did. If they follow you home, give them the stew, says Love Meteor. Yes, it's a good idea. What kind of project are you doing, says Crashbound55? I'm going to be extended our base, basically doing some landscaping, so we're just gathering a few materials for that. I present my question from before, but rephrased. What do you like on your sandwiches, says Tika Kava. Ham. Ham is my favourite sandwich filling, followed closely by jam, honey, egg mayo. Egg mayo sandwiches are good. Dude, Ender Chest got a crafting table logo on the bottom. Yeah. I'm a sandwich fan, I am. I like a Christmas dinner sandwich, turkey sandwich, chicken and stuffing sandwich. Sometimes tuna and sweet corn if I'm in the mood, but to be honest, it's not very often. Wraps, I really like wraps. Give me a sandwich. Now I want a sandwich. Quick question, what is the render on the server again, says Jesse B? It is 24, I believe, at the minute. We've got it on. The Knight says, have you lit up the under areas of your landscaping? Not yet. No, that's another job for us to do. I've got coal now, so we should be able to do that. Didn't even check what he was selling, just murdered him because I don't like him. Oh, I've got an alarm ahead. Did you see the celebration of Minecraft's 1 trillion views, says Jelona? How could I miss it? How could I miss it? Yeah, absolutely did. Very impressive stuff. Very impressive stuff. Noticed that I wasn't plastered all over it like I should have been. I don't understand how YouTube have managed to miss my amazing contribution to Minecraft. I mean, 1 trillion views. I've had... I can't remember how many views I've had now. Must be nearly 1 trillion, though. Must be nearly. Hands up in the chat if you think... I've had nearly 1 million views. No, 1 trillion views, sorry. Let me just check. I'm just checking now. That's why I've got my phone out. I'm flying and checking, alright? I shouldn't fly and play on my phone at the same time. I know it's dangerous, but I'm doing it for the views. Okay, of all time. Whoa. Rotated Outface know how many. He's already said it, look. 7 million! It's actually, Roth, 7,325,912. But at least 50 of those are from when I did an Ark series and maybe another 50 from Terraria. So I'd say still a solid 7,300,000 from Minecraft. And they didn't even mention me. Didn't even get a square. Can't believe it. Crashbound55 says, I redeemed facepalm. I don't know what it does. Oh, that one, it should have said on it. If I've done something genuinely stupid in stream, then I press the facepalm button, which does this. Oh, mate. And I get a number 1 next to the little facepalm icon. And that just shows you how stupid I've been all stream, basically. Jesse lit up the area under the landscape because she got blown up by a creeper, says Jesse. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Thanks for ruining my mob farm, Jesse. Jeez. So did we get a consensus on whether or not you guys enjoy me just rambling on or not? So, okay, I'm going to ask you... In fact, let's do a very quick poll. Got time while I'm flying. Manage poll. Create a new poll. It's not a poll, it's a poll. Sorry, poll. Do you like me waffling on about life stuff? Yes. No. Simple as that. And don't be shy. You've got 5 minutes to answer the question. You're welcome. Oh, and now press the button. I don't want to press a button. There we go. Does it make a difference? Would you stop rambling if we said no? Probably not. Probably not. I'm just interested. What's going to be the next XP farm with no cheesy furnaces, says Nathan. I got in trouble. Nathan. I'm sorry. I mentioned the word cheaty furnace in my recent video, and someone went ballistic at me. How dare you? Why are YouTubers calling it cheaty furnaces? I'm sick of YouTubers. They need to stop calling it cheaty furnaces. It's just furnaces. It's how it works. Quite clearly, even though I completely explained why it was a bug and why it was cheaty in my last episode, they quite clearly ignored all of that. And until I replied to them in the comment explaining it's cheaty because it shouldn't exist and we get free infinite XP. And then they were like, oh, okay, I didn't realise. So, anyway, what's going to be the next big thing? The only thing I can think of that's going to give us enough XP like that is going to be a Guardian farm again. I can't think what can do it quicker. Tell Prowl to shut it, says back on Switch. It wasn't Prowl. Excuse me, I'm just going to choke on my coffee. How many diamond ore blocks did you get in your competition with Slacks, says Diamond Fairy? You'll have to go back to that season and check it out. Personally, I can't actually remember. It was quite a lot. Quite a lot. I don't think I made a full shulker box of it, though. Well, this is an interesting little array of biomes, and now I'm going to strip it all of its sand. I think that's the temple I've been to. Oh, no, it's not. That one's waterlocked. Temple raid time! Can I get a whoop whoop for a temple raid? No, we're not 12. All right, jeez. Just asking. You didn't say please. Sorry. Jeez. Tough crowd. Smash the pressure plate. Smash the TNT just in case. Open the chest. Oh, look, another enchanted gold. No! I can't pick anything up. Raid farms look broke in the beta, says Squid. Yeah. Yeah. I lost my world. I had since 1.16. Lost it in 1.18. I'll tell you what. 1.18.0 ruined a lot of my story worlds. I'm very, very glad that I keep backups because 1.18 would overwrite any chunks that were created pre 1.16 or no, pre 1.17 with brand new chunk data on old world. So like TB season 2, you know, I did the bit in my finale with Mr. Onion on Jack on the beach and made Mr. Onion's house. Every time I loaded that up, I'm like, why is it all going missing? Where's half of, like, my base has all vanished? And it's because I loaded those areas pre 1.16 it must have been. So yeah, all vanished. So I believe that's fixed in 1.18.2 or 1.18.1, one of those, but it wasn't fixed in that one. So yeah, that was really annoying. But I have backups. It's all good. It's like they let Java keep the cheats, but not Bedrock. No, I don't subscribe to that theory. I think everybody that plays on Bedrock is always moaning that Java's got it better, and I don't see that as true. I think it's a popular false opinion, in my opinion. Are you procrastinating landscape, Foxy? No, I'm genuinely not. I'm looking forward to getting that bit done and dusted so that we can crack on with like how it's all going to look and putting paths down and things like that. I just genuinely need the materials, and seeing as we're this way on, we're out of the distance, we're not, you know, at anybody's base, we might as well fill up a couple of shulker boxes with the stuff just to save me doing it another time. So no, I'm not procrastinating. Actually, I am genuinely in need of these materials. I just enjoy that most of your streams have a good mix of both information and you're waffling on, says T-Cat Carver. Okay. Well, 48%, no, 98% of people, 48 people said that they like my waffling on. 2% of people, which turns out only one person, said no. hands up in the chat if you said no. It's a totally anonymous poll, but I want to know who it was. Who doesn't like my waffling? Jeez. I like a good ramble, says Khaleesi. Yeah, but we're not talking about going on a walking holiday, Khaleesi. We're talking about talking. Jeez. Stop rambling on about going on holiday. Jape says, I said yes, but I may have lied. Wow. 51. 51 in the end. 98%. Yes wins it. Clearly was the Diamond Fairy, says Isu Gaming. The Diamond Fairies is me. Wow. Okay, so today's waffle, or today's next waffle, I should say. I am a total moron. I know. And you're all thinking, really? You, the person that leaves stews out overnight on a regular basis, is a moron? I don't think so. You sound like the most switched on and skillful individual I've ever heard of. I know that's how it comes across. And I know that's what people think of me. In fact, I'm pretty sure most people call me incredibly well-to-do, thought-through, and on top of it all, skillful, good-looking Foxy No-Tail. But that's not true. It's not the truth. It's the persona I put out there, but it's just not real. I'm a total moron. So, I don't know if any of you will remember. Some of you might do. Some of you might not. Some of you may have heard it and forgotten about it because it was that long ago. But a long while ago, I went to the hospital. Not for an emergency or anything like that, but because I have this thing that I can't pronounce, phantasmia or something like that. Basically, where I will regularly just smell smoke all the time. Like thick cigar smoke, like it's been blown into my face. It's awful. It's horrible. And when it happens and it kicks in, even like lying in bed is like sitting next to or lying next to somebody blowing smoke in your face. It's horrible. So I had enough of it. I went off to the doctors. I'm like, look, I'm sick of this. Driving me nuts. Bearing in mind, I'd already been to the doctors years ago when I was young about the fact that I'd struggled to breathe through my nose. I've never ever sneezed through my nose because I just can't. I've always struggled with like breathing through my nose. I was always terrified when I was younger. If I ever got kidnapped and someone put a gag on me, I'd just suffocate because I can't breathe through my nose. So so yeah, I went to the hospital and they were like, okay, we're going to do a CT scan. So they put me in one of these machines, basically took x-rays of the inside of my head, and they found out that my nose tubes is too small and I have what's known as a deviated septum, which basically means the middle bit of my nose is off to one side, making one nostril wider than the other one. But the actual tubes that go to and connect to everything are really tiny on the inside, and occasionally they get blocked with bacteria, and there's nothing you can do about it. It just gets in there, and that's what causes this stuff to kick in. So gave me some antibiotics, which cleared it up, and told me to basically shove this horrible minging solution up my nose every day, which was a steroid solution, and also twice a day wash out the inside of my nose, like gargling in my nose with salt water, which was horrible. And I did it for a few days and then I gave up. It was horrible. I'm not doing it anymore. And that was a couple of years ago, before all the lockdown and stuff like that. Phantasmia, that's the one, says Lawful Meteor. Jade says, the most adultier adult to ever adult. Always knew you were a little devious, as Michael Switch. I do have a deviated septum, makes me more devious. Have you tried a neti pot, says Rotated Old Taste? Never heard of it. Anyway, that's the preliminary. That's like the previously on Foxy No-Tail. So today, oh no, the other day, a while ago, I got a letter through to say, hey, you need to go to this hospital for the next appointment. I'm like, geez, I haven't had an appointment for this in like 2 years. Finally, I got another appointment through, but it was for a hospital that's like an hour and a half away in a different town. I'm like, why are you sending me there? What a stupid place to go. And at that time, it's when they first started announcing that there was these new variants, and I hadn't had a third jab at that point, and I was starting to worry. So I rang up and said, look, why are you sending me to a hospital that's nowhere near where I live, for a start? And they said, oh, it's just where we're dealing with all of this stuff now. Oh, great, jeez. And I said, I don't want to go because I'm nervous about this and I've not had a booster or anything yet. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll rearrange it for later in the year. So, okay, yeah, fair enough. And then I heard nothing. Big Chicken must be smoking at night, says Squid. It's worrying because I often have to say to my kids, you know, can you smell smoke? And I'm always checking the smoke alarm to wonder if it's working because I'm convinced that there's smoke, like there's something on fire or something's burning. It's horrible. But yeah, so I then got a letter through the other day that says you got an appointment on the 16th of December, which, as you might be able to work out, is today. And then, on a completely different topic, on a side note, my girlfriend said to me, hey, you know, have you used this NHS app? It's got all of your appointments and stuff. You don't need to go to the doctors to sort out your repeat prescription. You can stop moaning about the fact that the doctors are playing you up all the time. You should get on it. And I'm like, I didn't even know it existed. So I got all online with this NHS app. And I hadn't seen the letter come through for my the December 16th appointment at this point. And I was still a bit nervous about the just announced Omicron when I so I go on this. So I got on there and I noticed there was an appointment for Grimsby Hospital for the 16th of December. And I was like, I don't know what this is about. And there was a button that says cancel the appointment. I was like, I'm not going to an hospital. I'm going to cancel it. I don't want to go and sit in a waiting room full of people that potentially got coronavirus. So I cancelled it. But I forgot I cancelled it. So I went today to my appointment that I cancelled and stood there with my letter very proudly, and the lady behind the desk said, ah, you must be Mr. Moron. You cancelled your appointment, sir. It's been rearranged for the 30th of December. To which I then said, yeah, facepalm, that is a facepalm moment. I can't go on the 30th of December because my kids will be here for Christmas and I can't exactly bring them with me to the hospital. Can you give me another date? And they're like, no, we're not sorting any of next year's dates out until tomorrow, so you'll have to ring back to sort out one for next year's. I'm like, oh, jeez, what a moron. So yeah, the saga continues. I still haven't had an appointment. My follow-up from all that time ago, it still hasn't improved because I didn't do what they were supposed to do with this horrible stuff that I was supposed to squirt on my nose or cleaning it out with salt water. But, you know, for the last year and a half, the smell of smoke hasn't been quite as bad. So, you know, there is a positive to this story. Sounds like fun, says Rail. No, it's not fun. Big Chicken, oh, I've read that one. I use the NHS app, saved me oodles of time and effort, says Rotated Out Face. I didn't even know about it. Didn't even know it existed. Don't they say the burnt toast smell is a sign of a stroke, says Squid? Yeah, it's not burnt toast. I know it doesn't smell like burnt toast. It smells like cigar smoke or cigarette smoke or just something like, or like a campfire or something like that. Foxy Moron Tail doesn't have the same ring to it as Mike's on Switch. No. No, it doesn't. So yeah, there you go. Another insight into my life of how can everything just keep going wrong? Well, it's all my own fault, really, isn't it? It's all completely self-inflicted. I get there completely confused. Why has my appointment been cancelled? Because you cancelled it, sir. Oh. Well, that would explain it, wouldn't it? I don't remember cancelling it. Well, it shows here that you cancelled it using the app. Oh. I didn't even remember. It must have been a mistake. Must have done it by accident. I don't think you did it. It says here in my notes, I definitely mean to cancel this appointment. I've done it on purpose. Signed, Foxy No Tail. Oh. First time chat from viewer. Please translate. No, you're not allowed. Mitz has deleted it. This might sound like a bit of a entitled things to say, but we have an English speaking chat only policy here on the Discord, purely for the reason that myself and my moderators are English speaking and don't know what you're writing if you're writing in a different language, and therefore you could be writing anything. It could be very offensive, it could be not very nice, it might not be family friendly, so we don't allow foreign language in the comments, please. So I'm sorry if English is not your first language and you struggle with it, and that does suck and it's horrible, but it's just one of those things. I can't manage it otherwise. I have told Mitch she needs to go on lots of, you know, language courses and learn all of the different languages around the world so she can be better at her job on Discord that she doesn't get paid for. But she's just told me that to basically, well, I can't repeat what she said actually, but basically her face got very red. I'm sure I could see steam coming out of her ears, and she was doing something with her hands. The fingers were pointing in all sorts of different it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. So I haven't asked her again since then. Mike on Switch says, what if English is our first language and we struggle with it? Well, join the club then, Mike on Switch. If that's the case, I know, how dare I not, says Mitz. If that's the case, Mike, you are lumped in with the rest of us. Is American okay? It's not quite English. Oof. Oof, squid. I think you'll find that American English is becoming the world's English these days. There's only the person that writes the Oxford English Dictionary or the Collins Dictionary that believes in British English anymore, I think. Even the Queen, well known for saying words with Z's instead of S's. It translates to good, hello, good post. Oh, does it? Thanks, Rob. I don't struggle with English. It's you who have to decrypt my English, says Rahel. Yeah, I struggle with English every time I have to read chat. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. I can read perfectly well the rest of the time. As soon as I have to read chat while I'm live streaming, my brain goes into putting all the words the wrong way round in the wrong order. It's not easy. What's your plans for today, Foxy? Get resources. It's actually to do some placing lots of dirt, but we got a bit sidetracked with some resource gathering, seeing though we're in the area, so we might as well. I think Mitz is doing well understanding you, says Lawful Meteor. Well, yeah, that is true. She is. I'm not very easy to understand. So, what are your thoughts on the use of the Oxford comma and its waning use? Remind me, Eye of the Night, what the Oxford comma is, and I know it, but it's one of those ones that you hear people talk about and you forget what it is because it's not something that's in your life all the time. Is the Oxford comma the one where it's James's, and if it belongs to James because his name ends in an S, you do the apostrophe after the S? Comma used before and. Oh, okay. It often makes sense to put a comma before and, because you want to. I mean, when I write, I think of a comma, which is mostly the case, as a natural pause in speech, and I think these days speech is written, particularly due to text messaging and stuff like that, it's written more in the intent for how it should be said rather than as good English. So I think commas should be able to be wherever the heck you want them to be in order to emphasize when you're taking a break in what you're saying. Language needs to develop into a system that is much better at understanding what people mean and their intonation through text alone, because the majority of communication these days is done via text messaging, social media, Discord, you name it. We're all talking on text, and how many times have you accidentally offended somebody because they read something differently from how you intended it? You can write something with the biggest smile on your face, in the biggest joking way, or just in a completely passive way, and somebody can take what you're saying as complete and utter aggression, because there's no real way to write intonation into text speak without just spamming it full of emojis. But even that gets a bad reputation now. If you put too many emojis in your text like I do, people take that as a sign of being passive aggressive, which is really weird. So yeah, I'm a strong fan of using any punctuation we can to actually convey the message that we're actually trying to put across in the most simple and easy way to do it. And if that means more use of the Oxford comma, then great. If it means less, then I don't really care what they call it. Just let's make it easy. Mac on Mummy says, we're watching a video of yours on YouTube the other day. My brother-in-law walked in and asked where you were from. I said, I don't know, UK somewhere. He actually asked me, what language do they speak there? I just continued to look at him blank until he awkwardly walked away. Wow. Is he saying that my accent is difficult to understand, or is he genuinely confused as to what language they speak in the UK? Either way, have a word. Have a word. Jeez. I've never been so offended. Amazing. That's brilliant. Thanks, mate. We have flown off on a bit of a tangent, peeps. Pretty sure home is this direction-ish, sort of. Enforcing the Oxford comma is a losing battle in the world that thinks it's a lot is a single word. A lot should be a single word because it's 2 words. What? No, shouldn't be a single word. Anyway, Jesse B says, moral of the story, poor Foxy, people always think he's cross. Yeah. Jesse B, genuinely always feel so bad when people get mad at you. I just write in the way that I feel at the time, and it's difficult to convey the emotion that I'm feeling. Like, I'll talk to people and they just think, oh, I'm getting told off by Foxy No-Tail, and I'm there laughing, just thinking, why are you getting upset with what I'm saying? I thought we were having a joke together, guys. So I just refuse to talk to people now. It's much simpler. Rotated Alpha says, favourite punctuation is question mark, just because it's called an interrobang. Oh, is that a question mark with an exclamation mark inside it? Wow. Great Day says, your accent makes me think of prim and proper, though I suspect otherwise. Yes, my accent is not prim and proper. I do like to sometimes at least attempt to pronounce my words correctly and say my T's properly, and I'm not one of these that likes saying F when it should be TH. There's a lot of people out there that do that, and I find that difficult to listen to sometimes, but it's becoming more common as well. But I definitely do try and pronounce my words correctly most of the time, but you'll know that I often slip into just dead easy, missing my T's, and just relaxed English, I guess. Everyone has a phone voice, says Carol. Hello, it's me, Foxy No-Tail. Welcome to the telephone conversation. How may I help you today? Your call is important to us. Please press 1 if you'd like to talk about anything other than me giving you money. Press 2 to talk about the fact that I owe you lots. Oh dear, press 2. Goodbye. My mummy says, I swear it's almost like he speaks his own language sometimes. Southern people in the States. Says, wow. Mr. Balrog, radio voice. That's why I always say thank you when commenting on your videos. So many people complain and misunderstanding everything you just said. Thank you, Lawful Media. Please press 1 if you want to cancel your appointment. Cries in cancelled appointment. Cries in NHS app. Squid 101467 says, you sound like a co-worker of mine from Manchester. I am not from Manchester. I am from the opposite side of the country from Manchester, which granted isn't very far away because it's a small country, but I'm not from there. My accent is not particularly bad. It's not right proper from where I'm from, if I'm gonna be honest. Oh, the ex-base if I turned up at now. By crikey. I'm completely lost. I'm one of the... it's a bit weird, really. I don't know whether it's because I do so many stupid voices or what, but I pick up the accent of people I'm around most, generally. So I was relatively well-spoken-ish, sort of, before I went to university. I had a bit of a Grimsby twang, because I came from Grimsby, but not a strong Grimsby twang. I didn't go car park or anything like that. But then I went to university and I was mainly surrounded by people from London, and I came back from university with, all right, geezer, let's go down a pub and beat up all the poor people, ain't it? No, I didn't really. It wasn't, it wasn't as bad as that, but I picked up a lot of London mannerisms in my accent, and people started to ask, are you from, like, down south? Are you from London? Like, no, I'm just rubbish at having my own accent, so... yeah, it's always been a bit all over the place, really. You sound like... I've read that one. My Manchester guy now lives in Tennessee, so we call him Bubba. He loves it. Good to know. I'm glad. Thank you for that information. I shall write it down and cherish it. No, you won't. No, I won't. Completely useless for me. Right, we have now things that we collected that we can do things with. Where's Crafting Dog? You're there. I thought he'd gone the way of the chickens, guys. I was deeply upset that Crafting Dog had potentially vanished into the ether. But fortunately, Crafting Dog is beyond being able to despawn, and as a result, he will get many beefs. How's chicken? Well, he's going to get chicken. He's my favourite Crafting Dog. No rate viewer you are, says Mike on Switch. Derusa, it's actually quite funny. I'm watching a video from a British version at night. It sends my wife right off to sleep. Wow. Now you just call... So first you're telling me that I don't speak reet good in chat, and now you're telling me that I'm boring. Jeez, you guys are a tough crowd. Bunch of meanies. Right, let's get the Thunder chest out. Don't look at me for more, you greedy mutt. I've just given you some. You're not having more. Jeez, look at that face. I want some more chicken. One bit, that's it. You're not having any more, okay? No, I'm saying it's soothing, says Jerusalem. Yeah, soothing, boring, you know, either or. It's interchangeable at this point, I think. What happened to Happy Smiley Pickle? Is he locked in his box, says Agent Taru? No, he lives in a house. He doesn't live in a box. He's very well catered for and looked after. And never... No mending on my shovel. Chaps, you are required. I appear to have an artifact of uselessness. I am going to require it to have less uselessness, please. Plus, bruh. Is this a new shovel then? Is that one I got from the end, maybe? Maybe I've... I feel like I've replaced my shovel with something I shouldn't have done. I'm breaking, I don't want that one. Mending? Yeah. I'll take it. Thank you. Just the one for me. Not feeling particularly flush on emeralds right now. He's like my dog. Always wants treats his life at 113. Yeah. Mine too. Been looking at me all day telling me she's starving. And I keep telling her, look, you've already been doing 27,000 poos a day. You are verging on having a poorly stomach again. Stop asking me for food. And she's just like, bruh. And I'm like, bro. She's like, bruh. She doesn't get it. She's such a noob. ASAM Foxy, says Michael Switch. It's not ASAM. It's just ASM, isn't it? Hi. Welcome to the Foxy No Time live stream. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're all having a great time and a great day. 27,000 poos a day, says Great Days. Yep. Is Nelly still on a vet-free streak? Yes, she is still on a vet-free streak. I mean, technically I should have taken her because she's fallen to pieces, but I refused in order to keep her streak going. And she's thankful for that. Hey, wait a minute. That should have dropped down a bit. Don't get carried away with those edges. Jelana says, Derusa, I do the same thing as your wife. I can fall asleep to DB, Groover, and Mr. B, oddly enough. I do not fall asleep to Foxy's grating and irritating voice. Wow, thanks, Jelana. I did ad-lib a little bit there near the end, but I can understand. My voice does sound like a chainsaw that's got something trapped in it. I do realise that. It's not a soothing voice. It's not a calming voice. It's irritating. If I had to pick a word to describe my voice, irritating would be it. So I do apologise for that. But it's just one of those things. It's just how I sound. Can't do anything about it. Where are we at? We are... Oh, I have no idea how long we've been live for because my thing reset. Oh, jeez. I think we're about an hour and a half in because we started early and it's nearly 8 o'clock and I started about 6:30. So... that makes sense because I'm at that point where I'm just like brain not work to come up with own things to talk about now. Streamlabs says Foxy No Tail has been entertaining us for 38 minutes and 44 seconds. Well, that's not right because we had that glitch in the middle, didn't we? So we started at 6:30. Yes, it's Mitz. Yeah, right in the middle of tea, wasn't it, Mitz? I bet it got on your nerves, didn't it? Why is he starting now? Why can't he wait just half hour? Just half hour more? I'm in the middle of doing blooming tea. Oh, for goodness sake. I've got to get it on my mobile now, and he knows I can't do it on my mobile. Sorry, Mitz. I wasn't thinking. That's how selfish of me. I would have gone earlier. I was sat around doing nothing because I'd been to the hospital for an appointment I didn't have. So I wasn't doing anything. So I just literally sat twiddling my thumbs thinking, is it time to go live yet? I can't go yet because Mitz will tell me because she'll be doing tea. Second pin at 120 local per Discord, says Michael Switch. Oh, did we get another ping through on the Discord? Brilliant. Nice. Good job, Twitch. Maybe your singing voice is better since Great Days. Oh, it is. Much less great in my singing voice, especially when it's from a long distance away and behind several closed doors. It's wonderful. When it's almost inaudible, you can quite enjoy it. And got lots of auto-tune on it. What do you think, Mitz? Is my voice nice and soothing? Is it the sort of voice you could just cuddle up to at night and go, that's soothing, I want to fall asleep to that? Fogsy's best when he sings tenor. Tenor 20 miles away, says Mike on Switch. Ah, got me. You got me. Ah, Mike. I thought you were being nice for a second there, but in your usual fashion, you stabbed me in the back whilst taking me down with amazing comedic critique. I enjoyed it. Good lad. Keep it going. 10 or 20 miles away. Truth be told, peeps, whilst I could never claim I was a particularly brilliant singer, I wasn't a bad singer. I'm not bad if I've had a lot of practice. Singing's one of those things, I don't know if anyone else will agree with me here, but for me, I'm a lot better at it the more I do of it. And I haven't done any for a long time. As a result, when I was trying to sing along to Ellie Goulding the other day in the car on full blast, I was struggling. Struggling quite substantially. But yeah, I have been known to be not too bad of a singer from time to time.
Lifer 113 just subscribed.
Lifer 113 just subscribed? Yeah! Michael Switch says, we'll never be better than the PB&K diss track. Well, that wasn't really singing. That was more, like, parody of British, London-based rapper style. Like... what's his name? The one, Stormzy. My best Stormzy impression. It's not Stormzy, is it? The one I'm thinking of. You know what I mean. Mitt says, I like your voice. It's what drew me to your videos back in the day. Oh, so you mean it wasn't my amazing content, Mitts? You just liked falling asleep? Wow. Speaking of irritating and grating voices, I once told you I'd never do any streaming because I couldn't stand the sound of my own recorded voice. And now I've been a guest voice a few times on smaller Twitch streamer and they haven't lost views yet. Everybody hates the sound of their voice when it's been recorded, especially for the first time. It's awful. It is absolutely awful hearing your voice back recorded, but it is something you get used to. And it's something that also, if you manage to put enough effects on it and it becomes almost not your voice, it's a lot more palatable. But no, it is something you get used to, so just keep it up. Don't ever be afraid not to do something because you think you've got an awful voice. You might have an awful voice, it might be horrible, but do it anyway and see what people think. Someone might like it. And you might be quietly surprised that nobody calls you out for having an awful voice. Lofty says, that's my job to fall asleep on Fox's streams. Lawful Macy says, that's true, Lofty. Lofty, you do have a bit of a habit of falling asleep during my streams, yeah. Not gonna lie. I need to go to bed. Oh, no, don't. Thank you. Who was that? Mr. Beardstone. Appreciate the sleeping, bro. My voice is awful. I can't change my mind, says Mitz. I like your voice, Mitz. Hands up in the chat if you've heard Mitz and like her voice. Mitz has been on quite a few of my streams. We've shared stuff together. So some of you, at least quite a lot of you actually, should probably be aware of what Mitz sounds like. Jesse B says, still hate my voice when editing. Jesse, you've got a lovely voice as well. Don't you start. Carol with a hand up. Rotate out of face, hand up. Lawful Meteor, hand up. Mr. Bolrog. We love her voice. We all love her voice. Well, don't speak for everyone, Mr. Bolrog. Wow, jeez. Rude. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I think we do. Jesse B, I love Mitz's voice. It's so proper. It's so proper pretty. There you go. Derusa with a hand up. She should be a narrator voice over your TV clips, says Mr. Bullrog. But Ugly Martian with a hand up as well. And then Foxy went over to his mob farm and killed all the mobs. And then he went home again and went to sleep and put all the stuff in his chest. And then... That's my impression of Mitz doing the narration of my videos, by the way, if you didn't guess it. And once he done that, I had to tell him off again because he wasn't doing it right on the Discord and everyone was getting upset again. I'm used to my singing voice-ish after 15 years, but my speaking voice is hard to listen to for me, says Carol. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? You get caught off guard. I don't even realise that I'm putting on a bit of a silly voice when I just speak. Like now during my live streams and like when I'm just doing normal video recording, I'm putting more effort into how I sound, just completely subconsciously, and it comes across very apparently Jeremy Clarkson some of the time. And my missus is always saying to me, "Oh God, will you stop doing that Jeremy Clarkson impression?" I'm like, I'm not doing an impression. And she won't watch my videos or listen to my live streams because she says I sound too much like Jeremy Clarkson because I'm putting on the silly voice. And I'm like, I don't even think I was. I'm not doing it on purpose. Oh no, Mining 101, why would you do this? You letting the pickle out of the bag? Oh jeez. Hope you weren't expecting a Christmas present from Mitz, says Lawful Media. No. Your voice is pretty, Jesse, much better than mine, says Mitz. Oh, look at everybody saying how lovely each person is to each other and putting themselves down. Isn't that nice? Squid says Jesse B has an amazing voice. Right. It's pickle time. Oh my goodness. It's me, a happy smiley pickle. Speaking of people with really beautiful voices, check out my beautiful voice. It's probably the most beautiful voice on the whole internet because I'm a happy smiley pickle. It does happy smiley things. Let's do deep voice pickle. That sounds like it might hurt a little bit. What do I have to do, go underwater? Deep voice pickle from down in the deep. Hello, baby, with a deep voice pickle from underwater. It kinda doesn't feel very nice to do that. Evening, everyone. Came just in time for the pickle, says somebody beginning with V. Oh no, not pickle, says Juliana. What do you mean, oh no, not pickle? Oh my goodness, you're not my skin. Who keep doing a party time? It's not a party time, not even my birthday. It's Christmas, nearly Christmas. I was wearing my Christmas hat, but it slipped off. It fell off again. It's not easy to wear a Christmas hat when you're a pickle. Armory Gaming UK says, I hope you're feeling better, Jesse B. Jesse B! What do you mean, Jesse B? They're talking to me. I'm a pickle. Oh, my goodness. Why are you talking to Jesse B? You're talking to me. I'm the pickle. Jesse B's not a pickle. I'm a happy, smiley pickle with the most beautiful voice in the whole world. Just like a princess. I'm the princess pickle. Oh, my goodness me, I'm a princess. Jesse B said, all this is true, I am not a pickle. Good. Stop trying to pretend you're a pickle and get everybody's attention then. Pickle thief. I thought Jesse B says she lit up down there. Don't look like she done a very good job. You're not very good at lighting things up, Jesse B. How does a pickle do a push-up? I'm waiting for the punchline, Isu. You visiting your family for Christmas, Mr. Pickle? Yes! Of course, they're all still alive! Foxy Hotel didn't eat them last Christmas! I'm not crying, you're crying, don't hit me! He ate all of my family, he didn't eat my family last Christmas. He did, he ate my family. This year he's gonna eat me. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. He's gonna eat me. I'm half some out of pickle. Help me. I think that's enough of that, don't you? Jeez. My 1-year-old is watching Witchers with us, and he looked at the TV and started laughing, then crying, then laughing again. I'm sorry, Mac, mummy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for my pickle to make your son cry. It was an accident. I remember that old Mother Goose story, The Princess and the Pickles. That's for Surfer. Lovely. Don't hit me, lol. Makes me laugh every time. Oh, dear me. Right, I got a push-up redemption as well from you generous, generous people. Thank you so much. Jesse B. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to do my push-up for me. I'm going to ask you how you might attempt to smooth things over between my base and Mr. Beardstone. It's getting a bit jiggedy-jaggedy. I don't know. I didn't really want to go all the way. I mean, maybe we can just start going down a bit and meeting up with that bit over there, I think. That's probably the best thing to do. Right. I am going to go find a hole to live in while I go and do a push-up. One moment, please. I'll eat some chicken. Go see Crafting Dog. Hey, Crafting Dog. What up, dog? He's my Crafting Dog. Yes, sir. Starting to head down will be the best way, says Jesse B. This is good news. Right, I'll be back in a moment. Please, stick around. I won't be long. I need the toilet. Sorry, Nelly. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait a minute. It was 1, wasn't it? I did 3. I thought it was 10. It was only 1. Jeez. Cheapskate. Only did one push-up. You could always smooth it over with sand, says Teacup Cover. Smooth it over with sand? Why would I do? I need a toilet now. One moment, please. One extra moment, please. I'm just going to go BRB because I need a wee. Sorry. I'm back. It's me. Did you miss me? Heist 1000, says Jelana. What does that mean? Oh no, this is Mike on Switch. Wrong place, mate, says Streamlabs. Nice. Right, okay. It has just occurred to me, whilst having a tinkle, that there is potentially a minor problem with our efforts to grass over the area. If you remember on Truly Bedrock Season 2, all of that time ago, I did many grassing over an area, but I put stone down first because I knew when I did pathwork I'd want to use things like gravel and torches under it to keep it lit. You may well have noticed that I have completely and utterly forgotten, oh, it's bedtime, to put anything under the grass, which means when I dig it up to put things in it is going to fall down. Especially if they're gravity blocks, which is not ideal, but I guess we'll have to deal with that when we get to it. You also might be thinking it looks a bit flat and rubbish. Well, it is. It's a bit flat and rubbish. I'll give you that. I will be bringing it up to meet up these cliff edges a bit better, and I'll probably be chiseling down some of these cliff edges so it all blends in a bit nicer. But yeah, I wanted it to be relatively flat in order to house the builds and stuff properly because I'm not very good at dealing with angled terrain. Put grass over the grass, mate, says Michael Switch. That's a good idea. Yes, we'll double grass it. What could go wrong? Oh yeah, we need to start going down now. So let's make ourselves a little Ujimuk what's it. Let's go down there like that. Get shot by all the skeletons that's down here. Ow. Hey guys. I can't reach. I'm so small. Why am I so small? Wish I was tall. Then I wouldn't be small. Okay. Little bit more. Little bit more. Little bit more. Stop. Perfect. Oh, look. There's a gaggle of skeletons down there. Peepity peeps and poopity poops, you are being awfully quiet today. I can see there are 96 of you. 96 of you, and you're not saying any words. Come on. Help me out, guys. Help me out. You know I find it, you know, I'm challenged when it comes to thinking of literally anything at all at this time of the day. Give me some info. Give me something to work with. Come on, you got this. You can do this. No, I don't want to put it there. Time for quiet reflection, says V. No, there should be no quiet reflection. We must be entertaining 24/7, answering questions, giving you all of the info, keeping myself hyped and charged so I don't fall into that despair of so much time without anything going on that it just becomes boring and everyone leaves. Don't leave me! Invite your friends. Come and watch. If you don't start asking me stuff, I'm going to start telling people about all of the stuff that they can do, like Amazon Prime and following me on YouTube and Instagram and all them things. I'm going to do it. So you bet, you know, if you don't start, it's your fault that I'm going to start promoting myself. Just saying. Sorry, Gathering Gravel, says William John. Why are you grassing this all over, says OP12, 2012. Because, OP, 2012, I don't like I want to build a base on it, and I don't want to have to just, like, have a big ravine in the middle of it. Okay, jeez. Get off my back, bro. Would it be possible to make a Bedrock add-on like the Simple Storage mod on Java? Is the Simple Storage mod the one with it has a computer and you have everything stored on disks, or am I thinking of something else? What's your favourite dessert, says Lifer? Oh, my favourite dessert. If I see cheesecake on the menu, I lose my mind. So I'm going to have to say cheesecake, but there are other ones that I love just as much. Nobody want me to do self-promotion. I've got many questions now. Beetroot or potatoes? Potatoes every time beetroots grows. Cheeky Kitten Live says, I'm cooking tea and mainlining Lemsip. Trying to get the shot of my headaches. I've read your name. I'm not reading it again. After Dead says, we would never leave you, Foxy. Good. Carbonated water or still? Carbonated water is gross. It's disgusting. Don't ever drink it. It's just something wrong with you if you drink it. My mum likes that. It's disgusting. Don't know why we'd want it. Prefer things that come out of a still, says I the Night. Ranger's Edge says, would it be possible to make a better... Oh, I've read that one. Harmony Gaming UK says, beetroot or potatoes is a good question. I know that is to do with Silent Whisper and Tiz sort of mini vegetable war, but even so, even though I would normally be on Tiz's side because of the underdog, I'm going to go with Silent on this one because beets are just gross. First time chat from viewer Joey PK Plays says, hello. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for first time chatting. Agreed on the cheesecake, says Lifer. Nathan says, hang on. Ranger's Edge says, Simple Storage is the one with the pipes connecting chests and access from one crafting table like block. It wouldn't be too tricky to make pipes with add-ons, but it would be all kinds of laggy, like super laggy, because you can create like almost conveyor belts where items will travel on certain blocks if they're on that block by using commands, basically to detect what block they're on and what direction they'll travel and basically teleporting them about. I've seen it done, and it would be all kinds of laggy, but it's kind of technically sort of doable. Controlling it though, you'd have no control system on there. You'd have to have pipes that were color coded so that they would only go one way, I guess. But and then you would still have to have them go. Oh no, you wouldn't. You could make a yeah, it's technically possible, I guess. Quantum Reverie says, here's a creative question. You are dreaming in your dream. You're dreaming. In your dream, you're shouting. What are you shouting and why? What? It's not a creative question. How am I supposed to know if I'm asleep? Well, I suppose the easiest way to answer that is I wake up, and if I have just happened to be sharing my sleeping with someone else, I would ask them. Otherwise, I'm going to be completely oblivious. Is that natural pink sheep, or is somebody trolling me? Squid says, I loved your last video with you and Jesse in the double spawner. Any videos with Mr. Lizard this season? We've had one with Mr. Lizard, the end raiding one. Believe it or not, I haven't actually recorded any more with Slack yet. We have both been very busy doing other things. Mine's mainly been just getting on. Yeah, and just getting on with what I've been doing. So I do 100% intend to be recording with Slack more this season. Can't wait to do that. But we've been spending our allotted weekly time together doing the podcast stuff. So haven't had that opportunity to just yet. But it'll happen. Jesse B says, I can't do cheesecake. It's so sweet. But it's so good. Jesse B says, oh, I love pecan pie, but I just have to have bite-sized ones. I've heard of pecan pie. I've probably seen it. I've probably eaten it, but I can't think what it is off the top of my head. I don't think that's a particularly British meal. Also, yeah, we don't have pies for pudding. Oh, I suppose we have apple pies. Pie in the UK has generally got meat in it. It's for dinner. It's not for pudding. Can't do strawberry cheesecake, but caramel anything is good. Strawberry cheesecake is my absolute favourite. Strawberry first, then lemon. Oh, I love lemon desserts. Dessert with lemon in it. Yes, please. Lemon cheesecake's amazing. I don't really like the New York cheesecakes all that much because they're just a bit bland and a bit not very exciting. I can eat a nice blackberry cheesecake. Just fruity ones, really, the best. White chocolate cheesecakes tend to be a bit too much for me. So do toffee ones. So they are too sweet. I'll agree with Jesse on that. But yeah, no, strawberry cheesecake all the way. It's the future, my friends. You should do it. In Tesco, they sell little... I've had to ban myself from buying them. They sell little pots, like double pots. They've got one strawberry cheesecake and one lemon cheesecake in. And they're only little... But, oh man, I could go through packets and packets of them in one go. They're amazing. A nice lemon bar is my favourite sweet, says Jesse B. You Americans and your weird uses of the wrong words. A lemon bar? A lemon bar? What's a lemon bar? Go away! What, not just turn on show player what? Oh, I'm confused. Sofa Surfer says, Foxy No Tell, if Minecraft content viewership fell to 0 overnight, oh my goodness, which game would you switch to and why? I wouldn't. I'd go and get a job. If Minecraft viewership stopped overnight, my audience size would reduce so much that there would be no way I could possibly continue making content and earning anything from it. So I would have to immediately go out and find work. So let's not jinx that, shall we? Ranger says that I think the pipes in single storage are just to tell the access block what inventories to look in, not really. In that case, no. You would actually have to have the items physically traveling through the pipes. You wouldn't be able to just access other inventories from one inventory. Oh, I smell an Enderman. Time for bed. Lemon bars are made from raw sheep, says Love Media. I had a mince pie cheesecake. It was awful, says Manny. A mince pie cheesecake? Sounds awful. Mitt says Mandarin cheesecake is my favourite. Well, I like a marimba cheesecake, actually. If we're going to be talking musical instrument cheesecakes and being ridiculous, Mitts. Jeez. No, that's not what I meant. The mandarin's a fruit. No, it isn't. It's a musical instrument. You're thinking of a mandolin. No, that's the guy from Star Wars. No, that's a Mandalorian. No, you're getting very confused with yourself now. Gotta go. Bye, everyone. Says JCB, who's been lurking for the last hour. Jeez, JC. Finally doing the off. No, I'm only kidding. Thank you very much for being here, JC. I hope you have a lovely evening. See you later. See you soon. Also, oh, hang on a minute. We've got a raid. I'm going to say thank you very much, JC, for my Christmas skin that you've made me. But I'm not going to now because we've been raided. Hold on to your kitties. This is a Groover raid. It's being spammed in my chat. It can only mean one thing. The master of nether fortresses, speedrunning, and all things technical has graced us with his viewers and has maybe popped along to say hello. But, you know, even if he hasn't, it's still absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Groover. How was Groover's stream? Groover, if you're there, how was your stream? Did you have a good one? What did you get up to? Did you achieve many, many things? I believe you said on Twitter that you was going to start fresh on something, if I got that right. Is it a patron server or something like that? You starting getting started on it or something, maybe? Mandarin, says Crafter Dad. I thought that was a language. That's the joke, Crafter Dad. I said everything else other than that. Oh my goodness me. Nathan says, will you be working on a new marketplace map soon? Yes. I keep saying to the people that's going to be helping me, I'm going to start it this week and then never get round to it. It's probably likely going to be one of those things that happens in the new year once everything else is out of the way. But yes, I need to do that immediately. Archangel of Death says he is against doing that because he doesn't want to see them for him. Oh my goodness me, I'm lost. There's a private thread going on and I'm trying to read it. I'm not doing it. The Baron once spent 2 hours of walking. 2 hours of walking? Jeez. Why? Why? Why would you do this? 2 hours of walking? That's just crazy talk. Doesn't sound very speedrunnery, put it that way. Groover was playing on Carbcraft, Groover's community server. It reset last Saturday, so pretty early game still. Ah, that explains the tweet then. There we go. Now see, I'm up to date with some things that are going on. If I happen to have just bumped into them on Twitter before it happens. So, you know. Foxy, you missed my first question about the coordinates in the armor stand add-on. Oh, okay. Oops. Well, it's too far away now, so I can't go back. You just have to... yeah, I'm just going to have to not know what you wrote. Sorry. Infinity Dungeons was so good. Any new games coming, says Squid. Right, okay. So, my first priority on the marketplace is going to be, although you can't put add-ons directly on the marketplace, it's going to make maps that are as vanilla as possible with things like my Mob Heads add-ons on, in order for people to be able to play with my add-ons on like devices like Nintendo Switch and PlayStation in a survival way. So the first one I want to do is a Mob Head map, but I have to have things on there that are significant builds that the marketplace will deem worthy of it not just being an empty world. You've got to do something. So there will be stuff on there that's pre-built, which is annoying because I don't want them to be. I want people to just be able to load up a world and play with the add-ons. I can't do that, so I'm going to have the closest thing I can get to it. So that'll be first. A Mob Heads one. We'll probably do a Mini Blocks one as well, with a slightly different spin on it. Maybe adding something in there that's unique and interesting, some way of finding the Mini Blocks, or I don't know. So there'll be that sort of stuff to look forward to. But I do also want to... We've had a lot of ideas. There's a group of people that I put together for Infinity Dungeon called the Fab Build Team, who have come up with a lot of really good ideas for an exciting and new map. And I would really like to do that, but that's going to be a big job. So there's a few things going on with all of that. I expect to see, hopefully, over the next year, a few different things come out, providing we can get round to actually doing it. And, yeah, hopefully at some point there will be a good, proper, like, adventure experience in there as well. Looks like an underground mob farm you're making, Foxy. Yes, it's exactly what I'm doing. Boxstav, What a crazy question. Does soup taste better if eaten with a fork or drunk with a spoon? You can't... What? How can you eat soup with a fork? If you're eating soup with a fork, your soup's broken. It's no longer soup, my friend. Just going to put that out there. Soup, I mean, I'm assuming by definition is a liquid. It's runny. It might have chunks in it. It may sometimes even have like noodles and things in it that allow you to eat like relatively large quantities that you could pick out with a fork, but you should always have a bowl full of sauce left after you've got all the chunks out. That's my understanding of soup. So it's not about whether it tastes better, which method you eat it. It's, you know, how the fact that you can't eat it with a what? Mr. Makeshift says, I've been away from Minecraft. Has there been any word about RTX coming to console? Well, it's funny you should mention that, Mr. Makeshift. If you listen to the podcast between myself and Mr. Slack Lizard tomorrow, it'll be coming out in around about 12 hours, we might just have some information on that for you. Certainly part of a discussion. So, yeah, if you're interested in my answer to that and you want to know more about RTX on consoles, then make sure to check out the podcast tomorrow. I'm not going to give you spoilers now, because you won't listen to the podcast. You'll cheat. But do you eat the soup or drink it, says Boxstav? Either. Doesn't really matter, does it? If you can have a cup of soup and have it in a mug and drink it, that's fine. I guess soup is technically not a drink, it's a food, so you would eat it. But I don't think it matters. I don't think you need to define. I think this is a case of adding labels and categorizing things that don't need labels or categorizing. I don't think it matters. And as an avid hater of labels and categories, I despise this very thought of trying to make, explain to somebody, well, actually, no, it doesn't matter. You're just eating it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Password is 1234. Says, I'm watching Muted at the moment. Can someone in chat type tells me what's going on? Nothing. Does anyone know sign language? Bogstow says, we're having a very lively debate about podcasts and soup. Speaking of odd questions, can anyone explain to me why lava looks so delicious? Because it looks like baked beans, mate. Question, have you ever learned to eat with chopsticks? Yes, I have. And now at one point I was pretty darn good at it as well. I can't say that I'm particularly great at it anymore because I haven't done it for a long time. But yeah, I can eat with chopsticks. I quite enjoy eating with chopsticks, actually. It makes you eat a lot slower. In fact, I should probably eat with chopsticks more often because one of my biggest problems dietary-wise is that I eat way too fast. Everybody always tells me that I eat too fast. People say if you eat that fast, you're not giving your body a chance to know that it's full, which is why you're eating too much, and it's absolutely true. It's 100% true. But I got into the habit of doing it early on, and I can't seem to get out of the habit of doing it. I've tried all sorts of things. There've been like people in the past saying, oh, make sure you put your knife and fork down before every mouthful and fully chew it, and I just don't. I have the next fork or spoon fully loaded, ready to go before I finish even chewing the first lot. But I often think, and I've been told that I would be, you see these hot dog eating competitions and how slow people are at doing it. I'd nail that. I would be. I genuinely do think if I was in a hot dog eating competition, I would completely and utterly destroy the competition. But I'd also feel incredibly ill afterwards. It's probably not a good idea. But yeah, I could easily do that. Easy. It wouldn't even be a competition. They'd just be like, oh geez, let's not do that next year. Foxy No Tails just rinsed everyone. He hadn't just eaten all of his own faster than everyone else. He's actually eating everyone else's as well. So yeah, it would be a good idea for me to slow myself down with chopsticks. That's a really good idea. I need to go and buy some chopsticks now. What do you want for Christmas? Chopsticks, please. Mitz says beans are gross. What? Beans are like the staple of beans are the best thing. Beans are brilliant. Wow, it actually does kind of look like baked beans. It's the best answer to that question I've ever heard, says Sith Lord Voldy. Just run the edge into a waterfall going into that lake down there. No need to go any further. And build a bat cave. That's not a bad idea, actually, but I'm too lazy for that. Eating slow doesn't help either. Trust me, says Mitz Cats. Well, according to experts, Mitz, the experts say that it is very good for you and your metabolism, so I should do it. Mr. Balrog says, Foxy, no taste the food is what they call him. Don't forget the good-looking part, Mr. Balrog. Foxy, good-looking, no taste the food is what they call me. Bogstaff says, it is fun and interesting to watch these tiny people eat enough food for 10 people at one sitting. Yes. What did you do today? I murdered the competition in a hot dog eating competition. I had 78 hot dogs in about 13 seconds. And they didn't even touch the sides. I'm ready to go again. If only our bodies don't require food or sleep, so much more time and money on other things. Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Bogstar says, it's fun and interesting to watch... Oh, I've just read that one. Jesse B says, I love beans and Hubs hates them. It's annoying. Beans is great. And spaghetti hoops. Spaghetti hoops. Probably very little nutritional value in spaghetti hoops, but it's still really tasty. Love me some hoopies. I love it when the kids come over. I get to eat all the junk that I owe it. I love like nuggets, chips and beans. Mitt says, I eat very slow. It doesn't help me. I bet your waistline's slimmer than mine, Mitz. I too am a fast eater. It looks like I have not eaten for a week every meal, says Boxstab. Yeah. Ah, Tiz Tom has joined the game. Hello, Tiz. Hello, Beetroot Guy. It's Beats by Tiz. Love spaghetti hoops, lol, says Mitz. Oh, you like spaghetti hoops, but you don't like beans? Yeah, that's not... No, that's illegal. You can't not like spaghetti hoops. You can't like spaghetti hoops, but not beans. No, I'm sorry. That's not acceptable. It can't be done. How do you fathom that one out? You planning on see this new Spider-Man, Foxy? Do you know what? I'm really gutted, Agent Tartu. There are so many films on at the cinema over Christmas. The Matrix stuff's coming out soon. I would normally be the first one there. I would go to the Odeon Lux with Jack. We'd get the priority seating. We'd have the big recliner chairs. Whenever it's a big film like that, I absolutely go to town on it, and I love it. The experience of going to the cinema is absolutely fantastic. But as things are at the minute, with me being high risk and people not taking COVID seriously, I just don't go. So I'm going to have to try my best to avoid spoilers, which I'm already struggling to do. Already on my newsfeed this morning was the ending to Spider-Man No Way Home explained, and then like a snapshot, a thumbnail of something I didn't want to see. And I know it's going to be really hard to avoid spoilers on this one, but I'm going to have to wait until it comes out on Disney Plus, or do the bad thing of stealing it off the internet, which I don't condone at all. But what else am I supposed to do? Not steal it. Don't steal it. Just wait and be patient. Yes, I know that's the right thing to do, but it's an important landmark film. Well, don't steal it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I won't do that, but I will hopefully see it come out on Disney Plus for an absolute fortune. It'll probably be like 20 quid to watch it on Disney Plus a month early. I got the mini heads and mini blocks working on Xbox. Just needed to re-download the Realm, says Trooper. That's good. Maybe next time add hot dogs to your stew so you won't have any leftovers go to waste. The reason I would win the hot dog competition is not necessarily because it's hot dogs, Trooper. It's just because I'm such a fast eater and I have a gullet the size of, I could swallow a bowling ball, I think, if it was required. So I see so many people like struggling swallowing one tablet. If you got to take a paracetamol and they're like, oh, it's a tablet, I can't swallow it. And then there's me with a handful of them going, well, this is all my multivitamins and antibiotics, and here's my paracetamol because I've got a headache. I'll just take it all at the same time. There's 17 tablets there. Yeah, be all right. You'll choke. No, straight down. No problem, mate. Easy. Cinema spoilers. The cinema is a terrible place to go with migraine issues, says Fantasy Novel. Yeah, I can imagine that. Armory Gaming says, at least popcorn and drinks at home saves you £20 back again. Yeah, that's true. Jesse B says, same for me. It wasn't so bad, but people really aren't being safe here at all. I don't understand it. It's so weird that I can go to Oliver's school playground, which is so crowded and packed because it's a small playground and all of the parents in the world are there to pick up their kids. And not a single one of them will have a mask on or a social distance. They'll walk down the street like bustling up in a big queue. They'll go in the school without a mask on. The teachers are there without masks on. The people at the shop have got no masks on. Nobody is doing any of the things that are like social distancing or anything like that, which I know they said, oh, you don't have to do that anymore, although they've just reintroduced quite a few of those things in the UK again. But then they've gone, oh, you've all got to have a booster now because it's bad. And now there's queues outside the booster stations to the point where everybody's now not social distancing and not wearing masks queuing up to get their booster. It's ridiculous. I honestly think people have just lost the plot on all of this. How can it be that busy to get a booster for something that they clearly don't care about? It just baffles me. It hurts my brain. No, Your Honour, it's okay. I only stole it because I really wanted it, says Sofa Surfer. Yeah. At the end of the day, right, no, I don't condone stealing it off the internet. I was messing about with that, but I feel like it came across a bit serious. But if we had to justify that, which I won't, but if I had to, I would say, well, I pay for Disney Plus, which it will come out on eventually. I've probably spent more money than most people on going to the cinema over the years, supporting the film industry, and I absolutely would do that if it was possible. If they said we're going to have a high-risk people-only showing or a limited seating showing, I would be there like a flash, and I'd pay double to go and do it as well, even though I shouldn't have to. I would, because that means that much to me. So that would be, if I was going to steal it off the internet, that would be my justification, but I'm not going to steal it off the internet because that doesn't help the film industry. And if we want to keep having amazing films like Spider-Man No Way Home, we need to support the industry as much as we can. Bit late to the conversation, but I cannot eat beans, spaghetti, or peanut butter because of the texture, says G. I don't like peanut butter, but that's the taste, not the texture. But the other ones, I went off beans when I was a kid because I don't know whether it was just the type of beans we had or the way my mum cooked them, but the skin used to come off the beans, and that when the skin got in your mouth, that used to really put me off. Same thing with bananas. When you get all of the pith in your mouth off bananas, it's like that really used to put me off as well, eating bananas. So I understand that, but you don't get that with Sketty Hoops. Then the best type of beans is congealed beans. You know, service station beans or like bad hotel beans? They're the best beans, where they're completely and utterly overcooked. They've gone almost rigid to the point where there's no juice left on them. Oh, they're amazing. They're the best beans. T-Cat Cava says, without getting political, and then proceeds to say something political, my family, outside of me, my husband and children, think it's a hoax and population control. It's really sickening and makes these holidays miserable. We won't be having any family over. My family outside of me, my husband and children. I've heard so many people say that. No offence to your family, mate, but if your family genuinely think it's a hoax, then you family's stupid. Why would the entire planet, the governments of this world cannot agree on anything? They can't agree on climate control. They can't agree on population control. They can't agree on anything. How would they suddenly, all of a sudden, in secret, decided, oh yes, let's all go on about coronavirus as an international hoax? It's ridiculous. The whole argument's come. I don't like getting political either, but it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Sorry if you believe in that, but it is. Have a word with yourself. Stop listening to so many conspiracy theories online and just use your own brain for a minute and realise how ridiculous it is. Herding Cat says, I agree, folks. No, it's all completely mad. People don't give a damn. RE masks, distancing only. Ever felt like 50% at most were wearing masks at the shops. I know. Can't eat bananas because of that, says OP. Thank you for following. Emma Louise, amazing. Herding Cat says, baked beans that you can cut into slices. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The best baked beans. Sliced beans. People are burnt out on having to quarantine. Now they're in full rebellion mode worldwide, just not just here in the US either. Germany, Austria had hit big protests. I know, but you can't protest or go, oh, I'm not doing it anymore because it's too much like hard work when people's lives are at risk. I'm sorry, but that's just really selfish. If you don't, you might not be as susceptible yourself, but other people are. I was thinking about this the other day, right? And this is maybe not the best argument, or maybe it's a little bit entitled of me to say so, or wrong of me to say so. But if you have a genuine disability that affects your quality of life, then in the UK at least you are looked after in a lot of ways. You'll get support, you'll get help, you'll even get like money to help you out in these situations as well, particularly if it's a disability that means you can't work or you can't go places or there's things that you can't do. There are so many things it's not great and it's not perfect, but there are so many things in place to make sure, or at least to try and make sure, that you have a reasonable quality of life, and all of those things are free. Now you look at this and you look at COVID. I can't work now because of COVID, because I can't interact with people. Yes, I can do this job, which I'm really fortunate to have this, but if I hadn't already got this and I'd have just lost my job that I had, I'd now be stuck at home with the government saying, well, tough, we're not going to help you out, we're not going to give you any money. I could go and sign on and get the dole and go and get job seekers allowance, but then I would have to actively go and seek work to do so, and I would have to turn up every week to prove that I'd been trying to seek work, which would be impossible. It's not a realistic thing to do to say to somebody that has to work from home because of health reasons, you have to find a job, because what jobs can you go and get from while working at home, not able to interact with people? So I think there needs to be more. If they're gonna just say to everybody else, oh, it's okay, do what you want, and then all of the vulnerable people just tough, they at least need to start thinking, well, how are we going to make sure that the vulnerable people can maintain a decent quality of life? Because I would say that although most of it is my choice, my quality of life is significantly reduced because, as far as I'm concerned, it's live this way or die, and I don't want to die. So I feel like I don't have a choice, whereas I get, obviously, people with disabilities genuinely don't have a choice. That is, they're forced to live with that lower quality of life. I'm not. I could just go, oh, well, forget it, if I die, I die, and risk it. But I don't think that's fair to ask people to do. So I think either other people that are healthy need to be more aware that there are people out there that are struggling and make provisions for that, which isn't going to happen because the population, as we know, populations anywhere are inherently focused on themselves and not the minorities. We know that for a fact. So I think the government needs to step in and make changes and make things easier for people that are struggling and are. Like, I couldn't go to see Oliver's school play this year because of it. I could have gone. I could have sat in that room of parents that had no masks on in a crowded auditorium with no space, no social distancing, which, several cases of COVID have now come out from my son's school since that school play. So I could have gone there, but the chances are I would have come out with it, and chances are I'd been in hospital suffering with it by now. So it's not a choice, is it? And it's awful. I hate it. Jesse B says, I think that's just where we are, realising how selfish people are in general. Yeah, but on one hand, they are selfish, but on the other hand, they're not, because it's not affecting them directly. And if things don't affect people directly, me and you the same, we don't think about it. We just get on with our own lives in our own little bubble. So it's easy to be angry at people for not respecting you as a minority, which obviously is frowned upon these days, but it happens. It needs to be happening on a higher scale, I think, like a government scale. Hey, everybody needs to do this because of this situation, like we have to have paths a certain width to provide access for wheelchairs. If you can't do that, then you need to make provisions for it as a shop. If you've got a shop that can't provide access, then you've got to, well, you have to. And I think the same sort of thing should be. I think this is say, okay, trading hours for people in vulnerable situations due to COVID. We won't allow anybody to go to this shop between the hour of like 4 and 5 p.m. that's healthy. Do you know what I mean? Like restricted, have certain hours of the day or certain days of the week that you can go and know that it's not just going to be completely packed out with everybody not wearing masks. Mac and Mummy says, part of my family also claimed it was a hoax as well until I spent a few weeks in the ICU from contacting it, thanks to one of them. Changed their tunes pretty quickly then. I'm so sorry about that. That's awful. Why are you high risk, says Mr. J5. I don't have a spleen. I had a motorbike accident when I was 16, had that removed, and that was basically what controls your immune system. So basically the thoughts are from the doctors and the NHS that send me letters regularly is to say that if I get it, I am going to be at least hospitalised, if not worse, with it, even though I've had all my boosters. And from my sister that works at the hospital has been telling me there are people in my exact situation, my age, that have had their spleens removed, that have been double jabbed or triple jabbed, that are dying from it. So, you know, that's scary when it's your family telling you that directly. Herding Cats is agreed. I'm also on a shielding list, not as severe as many, but still, this is a civic duty, in my opinion, trying to stay safe with COVID. For some, their individual freedom, so-called, is more important to them. It's a tired example, but honestly, how would these people have coped 7 years of blackouts during the war, let alone 10 years of rationing afterwards? I know it's crazy. Like, how crazy when the argument is, I don't want to wear a mask. It's not fair. Why should I have to wear a mask? Because of everyone else. A mask doesn't help you. It helps everybody else around you. So you're not wearing it for you. You're wearing it for the other people. Bruno has just raided. Right, let's change this whole topic quickly because it's getting a bit morbid and we've just had a whole bunch of people come over from Bruno. So let's move on from what we're talking about and talk about Bruno and how he's just come over with many, many people. Hello and welcome to the live stream. How you doing, peeps? What was Bruno doing this time? Is he still alive? Bruno, he's still alive?
Still alive.
Oh, that's amazing. What are you doing now, Bruno?
But Bruno.
No, what are you doing?
But Bruno.
Oh, you just repeated the same thing over and over again.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, it's annoying.
Still
I know you're
alive.
still alive. Jeez, give me a break. Right, we need some more dirt. I need more sugar boxes. We've run out of dirt, peeps. Wearing a mask is how you show respect for the people you're around, says lack of hygiene. Lucky our little town actually does have hours where only the immune people compromised can shop. That'd be amazing. I want that, Mac on Mummy. Only Buddy Lee says the mask doesn't help at all. It's been scientifically proven. No, that's incorrect. Don't say it's been scientifically. You don't know that. That's nonsense. Give me the proof of where they've said that. There's so much false information like that going around. It's really, really damaging. Masks are helpful, and the right type of mask is really helpful. Medical masks have been proven to be far more good at reducing you getting something and protecting other people around you than other types of masks, and other types of masks have been proven time and time again to help protect people around you and yourself to a certain degree as well. But it's mainly protecting the people around you from getting it. When you breathe out, when you've got a mask on, the cloud, you've seen people with just people smoking, but people with the vape things, right? When they breathe out, how big the cloud of vapor is that goes around them. It's huge, right? If you wear a mask, that's a tiny cloud. It's tiny and it's localized to you, which means that social distances works. So please don't spread false information around the comments, please. Mitt says, Bruno, you're very welcome. Bruno says, hey-o. How you doing, Bruno? What's going on? What were you up to? The main point in wearing masks is not to get it. It's not to spread it if you have it. Correct. Protect people around you. Yeah. Or just wear one for the sake of it, because we don't know whether we've got it or not, and it takes too long to actually do a test to find out if you've got it. And I'm not saying the tests take too long, but by the time you've incubated it and you've got to a point where you can actually test for it, your chances are you're already spreading it to people before you've done the test. So just wear masks. Only Buddy Lee says, or when you're in public or crowded places at least, or at least in shops, you know. Who wears medical masks though? 9% of people wearing cheap store-bought masks. I only have medical masks. You can buy them in boxes of 100 from Amazon for about £5. It's ridiculous how cheap they are. And if anyone says, oh yeah, but the NHS need them, the NHS don't need the ones that you're buying from Amazon. The NHS have their own suppliers and they're not struggling for them. So that's nonsense argument. Masks is cheap, bro. Get them. Use them. Protect people like me and the other vulnerable people that can't do things and can't go and see Spider-Man because you guys don't wear masks. Jeez. First time chat from viewer. Curtis Wolf says, I wear a medical mask and snood. Well, there you go. Taking it to the next level. Amazing. Good for you. Lundix Lyrics on News says, we have been wearing it for the last 6 weeks in the office all day long. No hardship. UK business. It's not. It really isn't, is it? And I know a lot of people moan that masks are restrictive and it's hard to breathe when you're wearing a mask. And I would agree with you with some of the fabric ones. When they first came out, I was buying the triple layered fabric ones with the filter in, and yet you can't breathe through those things. It's awful. The medical masks, they don't have any restriction on your ability to breathe. It's really nice and comfortable to wear and easy to breathe. The only downside is it makes your glasses steam up. So you need to take your glasses off or wear contact lenses. But, you know, that's not the end of the world. That's not a hardship to complain about, is it? Bruno says, by the way, I watched Spider-Man yesterday. No spoilers. Please don't, Bruno. I'm so desperate to watch it, but I didn't go to the cinema to see it. So, please no spoilers, bro. Shake my head, masks don't work. Trust me, bro. Science. Please get the vax and wear a mask that's bleeding green. Yeah. Anyone else says masks don't work in the chat, find yourself on the swiftly on your way out of here with a Van Hammer wedged between your bum cheeks, okay? Just saying. So fast 3000 don't even notice masks anymore at this point. It feels like kind of natural when you get used to it. Yeah, exactly. I got one box in the car with me and I got one box at home, and I just, whenever I'm out, if I know I'm going to be walking in an area where there's a lot of people, like down the street and it's busy, or picking Oliver up from school, or if I'm going into a shop, or if I know I'm going somewhere where there's going to be other people in close confinement, then I would just put a mask on. It's really not a difficult thing to do. You can get anti-fog wipes for glasses that work a treat, says Lyrics Undo. Well, that's good to know. They also had they said that about paintballing goggles though, and they don't work. I don't know if any of you have been paintballing much. I used to go quite regularly when I wasn't old and useless, and I was pretty good at it as well. And they always said, oh yeah, if you put like washing up liquid on tissue and you do this, or now then they oh, we got this anti-fog spray. No, none of it works. When you go paintballing, you can't see anything. All you can see is water vapor on the inside of your mask, and you're in the woods. Everybody's got camouflaged on. It's impossible. So, yeah. Those who complain that you can't breathe and they make you sick, any suggestion? Ask any surgeon how they cope. Family member has 6+ hour op 2 years ago. No surgeon involved killed ever backwards during it. I know, all of these surgeons clearly suffocating while they're doing their operations because their masks are too restrictive. Uninstall Twitter, Foxy. Tons of dangerous spoilers over there. Go watch it ASAP. It's an amazing movement. That's what my point while we're on this, Bruno, is that I can't go and watch it because the people in my area particularly, even though they've just reintroduced having to wear masks indoors, they don't social distance and they're not wearing masks at the cinema. So because it's a popular film, it'll be busy, and because I'm high risk, and if I catch it, I'll be in hospital all Christmas, and I don't want to be in hospital or worse. So I can't go and see it until it's been out of the cinema long enough for it to be quiet. So I'll probably have to see it like in January at some point, which is really frustrating because I obviously am going to hear nothing but spoilers about it. And I love Spider-Man films, and I've been desperate to see this one. I really hope that Disney Plus do another let's put it out on Disney Plus early so people can watch it at home. Pixie Enchanter says, just do a little bandage tape across the nose to hold my mask, keeps the fog away. That's a good idea. There's quite a few people that like, I don't know, well, most of you probably won't be aware, but I've recently been approaching going to see somebody regularly to talk about, well, for counselling basically, for things like depression and stuff like that, try and improve my mental state somewhat. And the person there, I've only been for one session. I don't know if I'm going to go again because they did say we can do it online and do it video, but I know if we do it over video, I'm not going to listen. I'll just lose interest, or I'll become distracted. So I wanted to do it face to face. And they've got a screen up in the room, but it's a tiny little room. There's no air conditioning. There's no windows. And they don't wear it properly. They got the mask on, but they leave their nose hanging out, and they're sat there breathing out of their nose. And that winds me up. And I'm thinking, I sat there for the entire last section thinking, is it time to go? Is it time to go? Is it time to go? Didn't take a word in of what they were actually saying or talking about. So I don't think I'm going to go back for another one. Do you need a spleen to get vaccinated? No, I've been triple jabbed. But they did say that it's because my spleen basically controls my immune system, creates the antibodies and all that sort of things. It's not as effective, and the chances are if I do contract it, I will be hospitalised or worse, is what they've told me, effectively. Dude, I love Spider-Man, always has, says Bruno. It's amazing, isn't it? You should call the cinema and ask them to have a special vaccinated only showing. Yeah, I do, and I do agree with these vaccination passport things that everybody seems to have the knickers in a twist about. I think that's a good idea, but then that doesn't actually stop being vaccinated. Doesn't stop you contracting it or spreading it. It reduces the risk of you contracting it, and I don't know if it does reduce the risk of you spreading it, but it doesn't stop it altogether. But what it mainly does is it prevents you from having such a severe reaction to it if you do get it. Basically, you deal with it better. So it's like instead of getting the flu, you'll just have a cold. So you'll still be able to spread it, but you're not going to be reacting to it too badly. So going to a vaccinated showing, I think I would be still just as wary about as one, even if people hadn't been. Going to see it Monday at noon, says Bleeding Green. No, I want to go see it. Thank you for the cheers there. 100 for the masks and vax. Appreciate it. I'm guilty of my mask being below my nose, says Lizafang. Move it, but I move far away from people. Why do you need it below your nose? Why? There's no need for it to be below your nose. Pull it over your nose. Then people don't look at you and hate you. You might as well just put it... Honestly, you might as well just take it off. If you're going to have it below your nose, just take it off, because it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything at all. Because people breathe through their nose. They don't breathe through their mouth. Maybe it'll stop you if you had a big yawn or an exhale spreading it so much, but just pull it up over your nose, jeez. I hate when they wear masks as chin slings. Yeah. Oh, that's the people at Tesco's that do that. That's the people behind the till at Tesco's. They wear them on the chin. Not covering anything. Gotta keep the chin on somehow. Herding cats. Well, all I can do is whether you believe in it or not, or whether you care about it or not, or whether you care about catching it or not, have you been vaccinated or not, I don't care about that. It's up to you what you do. But if you are interacting with other people, just have a little bit of common courtesy to accept their opinions and thoughts on it, and just put a mask on if you're in public, because you never know if you stood next to somebody like me who's terrified of it. And even whether it's realistic to be or not, just respect that there are people out there that are like that, and you might not be able to tell them. It's like when you see people commenting because somebody got out of a car that's got a disabled badge on it, or they parked in a disabled space, and because they didn't fall out of the car and prove that their legs don't work, you just automatically assume that because they own a Range Rover they're not really disabled, they're just parking there. You don't know. No idea what their disability is. And just the same thing with this. You've no idea whether somebody that's younger or older or whatever is vulnerable. So just assume that there are people out there that are, and just have a little bit of respect for that. So just wear a mask, okay? If you can't do it for you, do it for other people. It's like pulling the seatbelt over and not clicking it in, says Bleeding Green. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But, yeah, and that's dangerous for other people as well. It's like not wearing a seatbelt in the back of the car, I guess. Like, so when you go flying through the windscreen, you're going to take whoever was carefully sat in the front with the seatbelt on with you. Music turned off. The conversation went quiet. Can only mean one thing. We're getting near the end, peeps. We've been going a while. Been going, I think, 2.5 hours now. Ish. Hunting Cat says, it's not even the individuals who are immunocompromised either. You could give it to a family member or fellow householder who could then give it to them. Yeah, absolutely. Or you could give it to somebody that's a carer and is dealing with people like that, or somebody that works at a hospital and dealing with people that are vulnerable. You've no idea. And the rate that it's spread at the minute is unbelievable. I mean, before this Omicron variant was announced, they were saying that 1 in 60 people had it in the UK. And now they're saying like 200,000 people a day are getting it because of this Omicron variant. You've got to be careful. And I just don't understand. Like I said earlier, I don't understand why people aren't being careful on one hand and are just completely ignoring the rules when they're out and about. But then there's queues to get vaccinated. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. Did your podcast tomorrow, episode 1? Podcast tomorrow is episode 2. Episode 1 was out last Friday. I'm absolutely petrified of catching it again. It's completely logical fear, especially for people with compromised immune systems. Mine gets confused and helps the virus attack my body. That's not very good, Mac on Mummy. I'm sorry about that. It's awful. Keep safe. Do what I do and just hide from the world and hope it'll all go away one day. Goodness, that sounds awful. So sorry you've had to go through that, says Herding Cats 2 Mac on Mummy. Liza Fang says, can you catch it again? Yes, you can catch it again. It has been proven many times. The immunity from having it only lasts a few months, and the immunity you get from being vaccinated it lasts even less time than that. My son Oliver had it at one point, and he is now, that was long enough ago for him to be completely susceptible again. It is not something you have once and get used to and it's gone. You can get it over and over and over again, which is why we'll be having more and more boosters as time goes on. Don't think your third jab is your last by any stretch of the imagination. Just don't know how some people could live without knowing they made someone seriously ill worse because of the selfishness, says Lyrics Undo. They probably don't know. How would they know? You wouldn't, would you? If you bumped into someone in the shop and you had it and you didn't know you had it and then that person gets ill, it's not like they're going to come back to you and go, hey, you gave me it. Because they won't know and they won't know where they got it from. They'll just have a rough idea. So you wouldn't know. It'd be very unlikely to be able to know. The only way you could know is if you knew you had it and you purposely went to the shop anyway and weren't looking after yourself while you were there. And then saw on the news that somebody that went to that shop at the same time you did, got ill from it. It's going to be very difficult to know if you had a knock-on effect from someone. Kelleck says, if you look, countries like Japan, masks are used even if you have common cold. It's part of the culture and no one is falling dead from CO2 from masks after all. I know. Yeah. Where can I find the podcast, Foxy? Says Gripper81. My goodness me, there's a list. It's everywhere. You can watch it on YouTube on my second channel. You can watch it on Spotify. Listen to it, on Spotify, Apple Music, Spreaker, Google Podcasts. It's on, there's a big long list of all the places you can find it. Let me just see if I can find that list. It's somewhere. iHeartRadio, Google Play, Deezer, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Stitcher, and Pocket Casts. All of those places and more aggregates that use the like the main Apple Music aggregate service will also feed off that as well, and it'll be on there. Jelana says, people keep saying they want to return to normal, but they fail to realise that pre-COVID-19 normal is no longer possible. There are a new normal. No, but hopefully, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, so I have no idea, but hopefully I would like to think that at some point it becomes like the flu jab, if I got the flu, I would be in probably just as much of a bad state as if I got COVID. Because of my immune problems. So, but I go and get the flu jab every year, and you just kind of risk it, don't you? You just assume. You don't really see that the flu's that bad. You don't really hear about people, and people when they've got the flu tend to stay in because it's a lot worse when you get the flu, right? The symptoms are a lot worse. So I'm hoping in the future, in the next couple of years, it will be more like that, where it's less prolific. There's less of it going around. And we've got more, like the tablets they're giving you or the injections they're giving you are going to be more better at keeping you safe, keeping your immunity protected for longer. Fingers crossed, at least. If not, I just have to get very, very used to staying at home and not doing anything. Gotta go have a great rest of the stream, said Herding Cats. See you later, Herding Cats. Thank you very much for joining. It was a pleasure, as usual. Liz Fang says, last week there was this dude standing so close to me and my mum at a grocery store that we both got irritated because he was standing so close. Happens all the time. I went to the shop earlier to get some milk because I run out, and I went to a shop that I know is normally quiet, and I kept myself to myself. When people were walking near me, I walk out the way, I come out, go down a different aisle, but still at the till, even now that it's, legally we have to have masks on in the shop. The people behind me didn't have any masks on and were barging, getting as close to me behind me as I could, and I just turned around and just give them an evil look. It doesn't work, doesn't help, but you've got to get milk, right? You can't have coffee without milk. How can you have coffee without milk? Does not compute. I'm waiting to have my booster. The nurse comes to my house and does mine, says Lofty. Oh, that's good. That's good. You don't even have to go out. colleague of mine was trying to have an argument with me that they inject trackers with the fax, so I asked her if she had a mobile phone with her at all times. She's 24/7 tracker. Jeez. Why would they bother? How are people this daft that they would think they would... Who's wasting billions and billions of dollars or pounds putting trackers into people? And why would they want to track you? What for? What goes on in people's minds? Jeez. Yeah, that tiny, tiny little needle has this tracker in it, right? That costs billions. And we're sticking them in random people for no reason whatsoever. What stupid ideas. Jeez. You pollute your coffee, says I the night. It's the only way to drink it. Needs many milk. Oh, my nose is hurting, my glasses are pushing down. I can confirm that COVID is much worse than the flu. At least people with terrible immune systems. Yeah, but then there's loads of people that don't even know they've had it, do they? Especially kids. Like when Oliver had it, you wouldn't have known he had it. He didn't even have a temperature or a cough. But he tested positive for it. I think he coughed like one night and he had a temperature for, literally it was a few hours he had a temperature for, and we just, I better do a test just in case. And then after that he was fine. No, you would never have known he would have had it apart from that. So it's I think that's the problem we've got at the moment, is it's still so new. We don't know enough about it, and we know that like some people do react, some people don't, depending on what immunity they've got, and there's so many unknowns. We don't know. The best thing to do is just wear a mask. And let me go to the cinema without anyone else there. What was good when we had the last lockdown, what I really liked, is that the Odeon hadn't quite oh no, it wasn't the Odeon, it was the Parkway Cinema in Cleethorpes, had not thought things through when they put on a new booking system so that they had social distance seating. And what it meant was, if you booked a seat, then it wouldn't book anyone 2 seats to the side of you in that direction, that direction, that direction, or that direction. So you had a complete surrounding around each seat that was booked of two seats, which was great. So you could only book every other row, so you were at least a metre away from people on the other rows, and you were at least a metre away from people on the sides. And because it's quite a small cinema, when me and Jack went, I booked the third row from the end, the third seat from the end on one side and the third seat from the end on the other side, which only left one chair in the middle between us. So we booked out the whole row with 2 seats, which was amazing. But they don't do that. They don't have that anymore, sadly. You can book any seat you want again now, which is a real shame. But yeah, it was very nice to go to the cinema knowing we had a whole row to ourselves and wouldn't have anyone come and plonk themselves down next to us and start breathing on it. It was lovely. I've learned to drink tea without milk. I am trying to get rid of milk in coffee as well, said Mr. Balrog. What, is there any particular reason you're doing that? I mean, obviously, if you're lactose intolerant, that makes sense. Or are you trying to cut it out because of fats in milk? What's the reason for doing it? Yeah, I like milk because I like the taste. It's got a lot of good fats in milk, and it's also got a lot of calcium in milk. And if I didn't have much milk, I probably would suffer from calcium deficiency. So for me, I think it's good to drink milk. But it's interesting I know a lot of people try and cut milk out. I always wonder why. Whoever bugged me when I got jabbed has definitely turned the screen off by now. Well, this person is boring. They always stay home. Terrible idea, guys. My 3 kids had it, and we were like extra sleepy for a day and a half, and then after that they were back bouncing off the walls. Yeah. Oh, to be a kid again. Collect24 says, I would take bi-yearly vaccine over the constant horde of website cookies and location trackers at any time. Oh, you mean if they had trackers in, if there was actual genuine trackers in the vaccine, you would rather that than the website ads and cookies. Yeah, that'd be good. Take away the adverts off the internet and just put them in. Just give me a tracker in me. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it. I live in a small town where you can go to during a weekday at noon. There's only 15 people. Oliver and I went to see Boss Baby 2, and we went at a time that was because it's round the corner from his school, the cinema. So he finishes school at 3:15, and we went to a 25-minute past 3 showing because I knew that just no one else would risk going that early after school because they want to go home and sort stuff out before they go to the cinema. And there was 2 other people, sorry, like a family, I guess. It's not a family if it's 2 people, is it? Dad or mother and child at the other side of the cinema from us. It was great. That was they had the whole cinema to ourselves. But that had been out a while, and it wasn't particularly popular film. If I look at the seat plan for any of the Spider-Man showings over Christmas now on any of the cinemas near to me, they're just all, it's just people book seats all over everywhere. So it's not worth it. I've started with oat milk instead, which is good, but it does trigger hunger. What's the benefit of oat milk over normal milk, Mr. Bolrog? So no, I genuinely don't know. I'm interested. I'm not trying to put you off or say you're wrong or anything like that. You clearly know what you're talking about when it comes to milk. So, because we never finished a whole milk box here before it's sour, so it'd be wasteful for my occasional coffee or tea. Where you live, do they not have, like, long life milk? When I was growing up, they had UHT milk, which was horrible stuff. It was gross. It was so weird tasting that you didn't want to put it on anything. But now that's all I drink, but it's not called UHT. There's Tesco have their own one called Tesco Filtered, and there's also a company called Cravendale that do it, and there's a company called B.O.B. that do it, and their milks, they last, whereas normal milk could last for a week, their milks last for over a month per bottle. And even, I live on my own, and yeah, I do drink a lot of tea and coffee, but an entire one of those is gone way before it goes out of date. And they do, if you don't want to buy ones, if you want emergency milks that you don't need to put in the fridge, they do a UHT milk that the Tesco do that doesn't taste any different from normal milk. And I'll quite happily sit and drink that or have that in my coffee or my cereal as well. So I normally have a box. They come in like cardboard boxes, and you get a box of 6 for them for next to nothing, and keep that in the cupboard, and then put them in the fridge when I open them if I run out of normal milk. So yeah, haven't been to the cinema since before it all started. Still won't go, says Mitz. I don't blame you. Longer shelf life, says Mr. Bolrog, I see. Also, there we go. Also, how do you milk oats? Do they have udders, says I the night. Our long life milk don't last a month, says Mr. Bolrog. That's a shame. The milk I bought today goes off on the first. Well, I suppose it's not a month then, but it goes off on the 1st of January, so I've got plenty of time to drink it. My oat milk lasts 2 to 3 months. Once it's opened as well, or is that just before you open it? Because most things say once opened, use within like 7 days or something like that. Or use within however many days. My bed. Oh, my bed's in that slot there. Great. Good job. Doesn't have any such mention. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Do you have to keep it in the fridge or not? It's much nicer anyway. You don't have to have people spoiling it, says Mitz. Says to Juliana. Mitz, me too. Movies are far too expensive. Just wait to rent it at home. You see that I got the Meerkat app. I got my car insurance through Compare the Meerkat, so I get 2 for 1 at the cinema at any time on any day. So it's not that expensive to go to the cinema. It's still expensive, but it's not that expensive, and it's such a better experience than it is watching at home. Try to avoid dairy, Mac on Mummy 5, but macaroni and cheese is just too yummy as is ice cream, says Juliana. I hope you're not leaving that floating tree, says I am, and that's not an outside the world border one either. I keep it in the fridge, says Mr. Bolrog. Quantum Reverie says, when I was a kid with many, many allergies, my mum would let me drink condensed milk that came in a can. Very sweet, if not diluted. Condensed milk, yeah, that's pretty much just pure sugar. That's what we used to have for pudding. It's like custard. Jeez. I guess coconut or almond milk sounds better than nut juice, says I the night. I really like that. What's it called? Alpro. They do a soy milk, and they do a vanilla flavored one. It's lovely, but unfortunately for me, I have an intolerance to soy milk and almond milk. They just go straight through me. So I'm much better off with dairy. I shall stick to my cow milk. Thank you very much. I got those. I got one of those really nice, the little coffee machines with the pods on, and they taste gorgeous. And you put the little pod in and you press the button and it just makes you a really tasty coffee. They're great, but they use soy milk in them so that it lasts longer, and I can't, so like 2 of those in the morning, and the next morning I'm not very good at all. So I had to get rid of that. Gave it to my mum. Thankfully, they can just deal with tummy ache. Allergy is where you have to be careful. We switched my daughter due to her health in the port. Dear Mrs. Cheese so much, says Pixie Enchanted. Unlucky. Kellex says, whoa, people keep milk for months. That seems so strange to me here. We make a point to use up milk within a week or less. Always using fresh is the idea. Fresh milk is nice. I found this whole conversation utterly ridiculous as a lack of hygiene. Speaking of what's utterly ridiculous, guys, what's utterly ridiculous is how long we've been live streaming for today. It's crazy. We've gone on way too long. But we've achieved quite a lot. We've mined many grass. We've almost completed the area down... Well, in fact, we have completed that side down to Mr. Beardstone's area. We need to complete this side down to Jesse B's area. But unfortunately, that is going to have to wait for the next stream. Because as you might be able to tell, I've just about lost my voice. So I'm going to go and get lost and go and just chill out for a couple of hours before I go to bed and don't sleep all night. As I have not been sleeping for the last... few weeks. Maybe it's all of the snacks I eat before I go to bed because I can't help it, or maybe it's all of the coffee I drink throughout the day constantly. I don't know what it is that's keeping me awake all night, but something's causing a problem. Went from a debate about COVID to a debate about milk, says Michael Mummy. Yeah, but we've had a good time. We've had a good time. We have talked about a lot of things. We've talked about some very controversial topics, but I believe we've done it in the right way. I believe we're saying the things that are important, and I believe that we're sharing information that needs to be shared. Certainly from my point of view, obviously, because I would like to be able to enjoy the world the way I always did, which is difficult to do unless people are on board with what you're saying and doing. So I think it's been positive. I think we've had a positive live stream. Hands up in the chat if you think it's been positive. While I press the that button and the roll credits button. We'll say thank you to a few people as well. Such a fun stream, Foxy. Thanks for all the time. Says enjoyed and somebody. Thank you. Hands are up from Pixie Enchanted, Helly, Bleeding Green, Agent Tattoos, the name I just couldn't say a minute ago. Lyrics Undue, Armory Gaming UK. Many people. If your name is going on the screen right now, you know, if you've been to my live streams before, that an extra big thank you is winging its way to you for your help and support in today's live stream. And if it's not, then an extra big thank you to you anyway for turning up and showing support just by being here and watching, or listening if you have been only listening. We've had more hands up from Lizafang. We've got them from Iz, Gilliana, T-Cat Carver, But Ugly Martian, Arcade Kenny, Mac on Mummy. Nellie's here to tell me it's time to finish, so I better finish. Nellie, come on then, up you come. Come on, up you come. Say hello. Look over there. What is it, Nellie? What is it? What are saying? Who should we raid, Nellie? Who should we raid? You need the toilet? You need to go in the garden? Right, I'm going to find the raid button. We're going to go over to... JCB. JCB needs raiding. Let's go to JCB. Say hello to JCB for me. I'm not going to be coming along this time because I'm going to put my feet up, drink coffee and eat lots of snacks before bed because that's a good idea. See you later. Bye.